Hello and welcome back to the ORCA pod. It has been a long 2 months-ish. We've had Christmas, we've had the New Year. We decided to take a break on the rank down, but we are back and ready to go to finish. Well, we're in the middle, but finish throughout this year the big countdown rank down we're doing. Tonight, it's all about Backyard Survivor 3, Exile, and that will be the case for the rest of this month. So as usual, we'll have a rundown with the winner, how, and the game that he played. We will have the tea party with some of the best contestants and exciting players from this season. And then the usual awards, the most important award, the Bromelo medal for the ORCA player of the season, we hand it out. So get your votes in now and get them in correct. I've received some correspondence from some players, perhaps a Backyard Survivor player of a season, I won't say whom, who was voting, not understanding some of the sliding scales, may have voted wrong in that regard. But it is what it is. Votes are votes. So try and vote right, but vote soon. And we got the whole month to do it. Make sure you vote, have your say. And if you want to start preparing for the next month, the next group of ORCA episodes we'll be looking at is, and we're starting with the rankings now, the 7th best LRG made in Australia is Melbourne Survivor 2 Warrandyte. Get on it, get on all the fun aspects there, but that will be for next month. Get binging, get watching. We are going to now start the podcast on the very exciting Backyard Survivor 3 Exile. Joining me for our coverage, our rundown of the recap of this season is my partner in crime always, Jules. Welcome.
Hey, CK, glad to be back. It's been a minute.
I'm glad to be back. I'm excited. I'm excited to run through this.
Me too.
I guess before we start diving in, broader thoughts. What did you think of the season?
Look, I'm gonna try and be nice here. This was the 4th best LRG that we have talked about in this countdown.
So you're saying it's the worst?
I don't want to use that word, but yes.
I think it's the sort of situation where production did a great job of putting together the twists, the advantages, Exile. The location was good. It's a backyard. I'm not really into the backyard of Backyard Survivor, but that was the name of the game at the time. I also read somewhere, I think in something Kyle posted recently, they lost their original location days before. So this was a backup location or a location they found on very short notice. I don't love the location, but when you take that into account, it seems like everything that went wrong in trying to put this together went wrong. And the same happened on the day. All these great advantages, all these great twists, and just the way the numbers played out in the game meant that they often couldn't be employed in interesting ways from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah. And what went wrong with the timing of it all? Because for it to finish as late as it did, that just baffles me. Like I sent a message to Liz asking what time they actually finished. She said it was about 3:30 in the morning. That's obviously heavily delayed in schedule. So I don't know what went wrong there.
Well, that's standard. Backyard 2's like that as well.
Really? Wouldn't you try and if you're going to do it for one day, aim to get it in before midnight, or else just go to 2 days. 2 days is fine.
And they do go to 2 days later. And I must say, you're not wrong, but you're also missing a critical factor. And I've spoken to Keegan about this, who was on Backyard 2, and he said when you play that long, start at 8 a.m. and finish at 3 a.m., you get the actual sort of part of Survivor that you don't get in the LRG, where you are just done, mentally done. You are tired. You are actually hungry. You're not thinking straight anymore, like people are on Survivor after 10 days or whatever. So in terms of it impacting your mental faculties and your ability to make the right strategic decisions, you're not all there. So that is part of the game, and you do get that in this environment. I don't think we saw it necessarily in this season, but in season 2, I think it has a little bit more of an impact.
But that's where I think, not to be talking about other LRGs, but that's where I think Melbourne does it really well by having the day one kick off halfway through the day, and then everyone gets through the first night and nothing really happens until day 2. Because speaking from experience, that first night, when you're so excited to play the game, your adrenaline's pumping, and you're sleeping on the ground. I did not sleep at any minute at all that first night. So I was feeling like that at the minute the game started properly.
I slept like a baby first night.
Of course you did.
I had a very thick sleeping bag. Just want to give a shout out to Pratty, who's here watching. And I know Pratty's running his next season of Pratt Viva or Bren Viva or whatever we call it. Not exactly.
I played season 2, and it was so much fun. That was my first ever org, and I have been a little bit obsessed ever since. I've played multiple in a row. If you want to play an org and you've never played one before, give Pratty a go.
Yeah, he's casting, and I thought I'd call him out because I appreciate anyone who's watching this live. There's so much Survivor on right now. This is the Survivor peak. This is not the month to ever release an LRG in. The February combo of we get America and Australia double up. But anyone who's watching here live knows all the Survivor content on, so I appreciate you being here live. I think we should just get into the episode. And I felt that the opening sequence, not the first 10, 20 minutes, but the opening sequence about the season was pretty elite. Like, it was just a really exciting start. The editing, the production of that sequence, if you remember, it was very, very strong. And then we did go into an extended get to know you of the cast. How did you feel about that?
I like that everyone got their little intro package, but having them all one after the other at the start of the episode, I was bored, well before they finished. I think it's fine to do that, but spread them out. Have at the start, do maybe 2 from each tribe, and then you do Howls when he goes off to Exile, and then a bit later in the episode, do maybe 1 more from each person, and then go into the next episode and do a few more there. They don't all need to be in episode 1.
I think also I'm there frantically taking notes for the purposes of this show, so I'm getting the information. But I think if you were just watching this, it would just gloss over you. There's too much information about all these different people that you won't remember who they are and what they said until later, or you won't remember it when you saw them later. So it sort of glosses over. It goes for a while. I feel like it needs to be edited. Look, we know that Brian and Kyle go on to make an incredible product in Backyard 4, so I don't mind criticizing a bit of what I'm sure they know are things they needed to work on and did improve upon in their next season. At this time, that just needed a bit of an edit. Some of the things that we learn, James is a super fan. Jeff is a super fan. Everyone that fucking plays this shit is a super fan. Well, that's not true. You get the super fans and you get the people like Jake who just showed up not knowing what he was doing.
Just want to do a bunch of challenges. Just have some fun.
I reckon Jake could get himself cast on Real Australian Survivor with that casting approach. He could be the Jaden of some season. Yeah, I'm just having a good time. Thumbs up.
I mean, he's a good-looking guy. He does well at challenges. He's just easygoing. He'd be great.
I could get himself cast, no problems. in that role. Liz is hoping that the fact she's travelled is going to look after her. I don't know if that really means anything to anyone.
If you're tossing up between 2 people, that might be the reason you keep one over the other. But if they're going to vote you out, they're going to vote you out.
I'd never keep someone for that reason. Fuck that shit.
No.
We get our first comment from Andrew, and what is going to be just set of wonderful examples and analogies and references to a lot of
$10 words.
A lot of communist history. This one where he says he wants to create a strong Politburo communist style to dominate the game. He tells us he's come from Canberra. Rafe hasn't watched much Survivor. Sammy has never watched it other than Backyard. And that's, I think, evident by the fact that she's wearing a Boston Red Sox cap. I think anyone that knows Survivor would think it's a little bit foolish to walk in with a Boston Red Sox cap to any sort of Survivor LRG. Do you think so?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You're sending a message.
Mm-hmm.
Now, look, Elaine got away with it in Ireland.
Elaine can get away with whatever she wants to get away with.
Yeah, she's so obviously not a Boston Rob like Stan, and
she's a plastic can of biscuits.
She's so different that it wouldn't matter. But yeah, I think it's something that's a risky move. Maddie's never watched Survivor. Really? Are we buying that? I don't know. How's willing to do anything. Kiara said she wants to be crowned sole survivor. She'll have to wait for that. Jake says he's here to dominate this shit. Well, he was right about that. James says that he's got a family and he's not going to tell anyone that he's a fan. I'm like, no one's going to buy this shit, James. You look like a fucking super fan. Like, Bunnings hat be damned. You look like a fucking super fan. Like, I'll believe it from Jake, but I'm not believing it from
Yeah.
And then Steven, he's secretly a super fan. Like, it got a little bit repetitive with the secret super fan edits.
I'm also toning down your super fandom. If you're a super fan, don't walk in being like, yeah, I know every single player from every single season. But don't also go in being like, oh, I've never watched the show. Like, come on. Just be like, oh yeah, I like it. I'm a casual fan. I like Aussie. That's what the casual fans say, isn't it?
Yeah. He's good. Challenges. You know, I'm a fan. I like his OnlyFans. I like his challenger. This is where we get to the actual sort of match chat, and that goes on for a while as well. Steven wants to steal Brian's heart, which is nice. And if he wins, he'll get a backyard survivor tattoo. It's a bit sad he didn't win. That would have been good.
Did he get one anyway? Please tell me he did.
On the mat, Boston Sammy, said she's very happy to do whatever she needs to do. She might be two-faced or she might be honest. It's pretty bold to say that in front of everyone.
Yeah, yep. Also, clearly never a fan. Like, there's everything she does. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, you don't know this game.
And then Maddie, in behavior that will continue throughout the season, points out Jake is antagonistic, but seems to be buying James's bullshit. Ben then gives us, he says in one of his many confessionals, he says he wants to make friends and then break friends, and then gives us a bunch of endless catchphrases that we can look forward to for the rest of the season. How immediately comes across, I think, in a very positive light. You know, he says he's there to lie, steal, chill, and backstab. And he says that on the mat. But he's got this, like, larrikin vibe about it, this real, like, Luke Toki vibe that everyone sort of laughs it off.
That's exactly the comparison I made as well. He is a Luke Toki kind of character.
Whereas if I got up there and said I was going to, like, stab everyone in the back, I reckon I'd be, like, first out. Liv is there to have a good, just sort of have a good strat and chill, I think, like that. And Liz tells us she's going to tell everyone she's from Brisbane because Kath is also there, and Kath is from Melbourne, and they're best friends. So there's a risk.
I can tell you right now, I don't know everyone else in Melbourne. So if two people from Melbourne have both gone over to Perth to play Backyard Survivor, I wouldn't assume that they know each other. That's just
that's fair, but I don't understand why Liz is the one. I think you're right. You're absolutely right. But why is Liz the one saying she's from a different city? Because she's more likely to be recognised as the host of Melbourne Survivor. Melbourne Survivor 2 had aired at this point. I'm confident it had aired. So because I watched this knowing pretty much on the live when I started watching it, and I watched Warrandyte. So if people identified her as the host of Melbourne, then wouldn't it be better at least you should get on up to that and not just pretend it's fake? Why did you say you were from Brisbane? Like, what is this?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I just also wouldn't have gone with it as well. Like, it'd be, oh, what a coincidence that there's two people from Melbourne here.
Yeah. I'm just going to skip through this. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. We're going to Jeff's job. You mentioned Jeff's job. Jeff's a big character in the pre-merge. Jeff is a creative.
Lying about his job.
Yeah, but that's because how the fuck could you explain what a creative generalist is? What the fuck is even that?
I don't know what it is either. But
you have to explain that?
No, I don't know what that is. But if anyone is going to be able to explain it, it's Jeff.
It's a load of nonsense. I think it's just easier to say he works at the bottle shop.
Okay. I have a pet peeve of mine is when people lie just for the sake of lying. Like, I'm going to lie about this because it's Survivor and I want to lie. I understand there are times when it is a good idea to lie about your job. Present company included in that.
We don't want to spoil this, but did you tell people about your job? You didn't.
I did. I just tried to downplay it.
Okay.
But yeah, I understand you hiding your job as well, and I understand police officers wanting to hide their jobs. I understand that. Being a creative, whatever you do, why are you hiding that? I think it just, and when you are lying about, the more you lie about, the less genuine you come across. And I think that is probably a factor why people had issues trusting him, because you can sense that about someone.
In his defense, if he told everyone he was a creative generalist, they would have probably thought he was lying about that, because that's not even a thing.
I hear that. I'm like, oh, I don't know what that is. And then he tells you what it is, probably in one sentence. And I go, oh, okay, cool.
He doesn't have the look of a person who's doing some random job that us like old millennials have never heard of.
Us old millennials.
Are you an old millennial?
I am an elder millennial, yes.
Yeah. Whereas, like, obviously, if you're a Zoomer and Alpha, oh, you're creative journalist. Yes, we all know about those. But we don't know what the fuck that is. So it seems absurd, right? Like, so I get it. He doesn't have that look about him. He has I work in a bottle shop look. I think it was easier to go with.
All right. Fair.
Then we get into, which is, I'm sorry, Carl and Brian, an absurd production decision. Random buff draw for the tribes. So much can go wrong here. Why did you do this?
I agree. I think, especially like when it comes to challenges, like obviously this played out because the challenges worked out fairly evenly in these tribes, but you want to have the tribes as even as possible in terms of challenge performance, but also you've got two people who are best friends. You like, again, this worked out, but you want to make sure they're on opposite tribes.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that within that there were other people that knew each other as well. You want to separate them as much as possible.
You want to manage that. That always does happen. There's people that know each other. And you want to let people have the chance to build those relationships on the tribes to begin with. Those existing relationships could have a factor. They may have a factor. But when we did the Backyard Survival 1 coverage, it was really interesting that even though there were those existing relationships, for the most part, it was actually the bonds and alliances formed in the game that held true, particularly with the OG Reds who left their other friends, you know, in the dirt. Famously, Amy talked about we were shocked why they voted. She was shocked that the others voted for her, and we didn't understand why, but it's because they were her actual friends. But she wasn't flipping to be with them, so like, what's the thing? But that happened, but that's because there was the time to build it. Look, they obviously did this because they wanted someone to draw a black one. How did they get the numbers right for women and men?
I don't know. Did they potentially have certain buffs for men and certain buffs for women? Like, was it? I don't remember. Were they all from one big bowl or one big plate?
But then how would you choose who gets the black one? Like, how did they ensure a guy got the black one?
They had an odd number of people, so
they must have had the guys pile had the black one. So it was always going to be a guy that went to Exile first.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Look, I do like someone randomly has to go to Exile, and I guess if you're doing it that way, that's how it needs to be done. But I mean, you could have potentially done like a schoolyard pick and have the person that's left over has to go to Exile.
I think that's a better one.
That doesn't negate the people knowing each other and that kind of stuff.
I think if you're doing that, if you had to give them an idol, like immediately, not the fake idol kit or whatever, because if you actually were singled out as the bottom by the schoolyard pick, then you need something. How to sort of like, oh, it's bad luck, whatever, I forgot, you know?
Yeah.
Look, he was the perfect person to go because he was able to so easily reintegrate himself. There are people that wouldn't be so good at reintegrate. Like I wrote down, this is a tough situation because you're missing.
Yeah, I'd say like at least half this cast, if they are the ones going to Exile, they're the next boot.
But how's the sort of guy that I reckon you meet and you immediately like, yeah, I like this guy, I want to work with him. He's smart, chilled, not stressed out. I like his vibe, you know.
I even like at that first tribal when they're like, who's nervous? And he's like, oh yeah, me. Like, and he does like, there are sometimes where you see people who have immunity talking about being nervous and it irritates you. He's the guy that if he has immunity and says he's nervous, you're like, oh, Hal, you're a funny guy.
We have a very long comment from, I think, a first-time live listener, Mark Pies, who I don't know who that is, so I'm going to put him up.
Mhm.
And I think we will get into this in the context of the coverage. Pagongings can be interesting in the sense of how hard it is to get a group of people to actually stick together, because we see alliances break all the time. So if you can do that, it's impressive. But from a game perspective, it isn't what you want in an ideal
Mhm.
season. You want power shifts. You don't want people to do it. This is absolutely right.
I
And we will
completely
get
agree.
into in the post-merge why this was a pagonging and why that didn't happen. And there's a few key players in all of that. And really, like if I get to the crux of it, it's Andrew drives it, but because how Jake and Samara know they've got all the power and all the hardware, they just let Andrew drive it and they're cool with it, and then they'll get him out eventually, and they'll be the final three. Like,
Yes. I mean, I think, we'll get more to it when we get there, but I
yeah,
think for pagonging to work in a big group, everyone knows that if you've got a group of seven people don't make it to the end. So you've got to have your plan in place of what you think is going to happen when you get down to 7. And if everyone thinks that they have got a path forward after that, then that's when it'll stay together.
fundamentally, Andrew misunderstood where he sat with those three.
Agreed.
That's why it happens like this.
Yes.
Because if Andrew had an awareness of where he actually sat, I feel like he is the sort of player that could have actually changed things up.
And we see Zach hang around another vote.
So the Orange tribe have called themselves Blood Orange, which I have said is the dumbest tribe name since America.
Yeah,
Fucking
look,
stupid.
I don't care about tribe names, I'll be honest. All my notes say orange and purple. I don't care.
Andrew has been tear gassed 3 times in Egypt. That's interesting. Do you think some of this is just made up, or do you think is legit? I don't know.
He's a very
hard to tell.
eccentric kind of guy. I would buy anything that he's got to say because he would just say it with such conviction.
Yes.
I
Yes,
have been tear gassed 3 just he would say it like this.
It's very good. It's the
He was one of the highlights of the season to me.
Look, he's the star. There's no doubt. Rafe says they'll keep Jake until he's not useful anymore. That doesn't really work out for you. And Jake again says they're going to dominate. He's confident with the tribe they've got. They probably do have the stronger tribe. When we get to purple, everyone loves Zach. Don't worry about that. Apparently, Kath has some. They know who Kath is. They don't know who Liz is, but they know who Kath is. Kath was running some sort of Soul Survivor superfan page at this time, and they all knew about it.
Okay.
So maybe they're right for Liz to lie about where she came from.
Maybe.
James has lied about having a family. He doesn't have a family. Do you think having a family makes you a less threatening person, a nicer person? The fact that you could conceive a child doesn't mean shit in terms of the sort of person you are.
I think for men in particular, it doesn't really. People don't think about. And for a man, I don't want to get into like feminism, whatever, but for a man, people don't really factor their partner and their children into that. For a woman, it makes a huge difference. But for a man, whatever, who cares?
I also got I'm not sure if anyone else in this tribe had a family. So I think they all seem a lot younger, and I don't think Jeff did either. So I think that you're then putting yourself, you did end up aligning with Jeff, you're putting yourself sort of in the older group. Like you're already saying, I'm here and they're there. Now, look, I talked about my family when I played, and Brady was the only other person with a family, but we had like a whole night to talk. So you got to talk about who you are. And I'm already lying about my job, so I've got to talk honestly about the family. So I don't think it's such a big deal, but I just don't get why he's lying about it.
And yeah, I think it would if there were other people in his tribe that had a family and he wanted to try and like build a connection with them, that is something you could do. But I think also you'd get found out if you don't have kids and you say that you do. You're going to have a hard time really relating to someone.
Yeah. I think James wanted to be caught in it. Like, because he says it's not worth winning if you can't win dirty, and he wants nasty messages post-game. I think he really wanted to be a Johnny Fairplay-esque character. He never got to really get into doing anything that he wanted, but I think he wanted that.
And I think that is also his fatal flaw in that he had this idea of how he wanted to play going in. This is what I'm going to do. And you can't do that. You need to go in and be flexible. I might play like this or I might play like that. I'm going to go with whatever is presented to me when I get out there.
We see that Maddie likes James, but she also sees through his bullshit a little bit. Ben on the other tribe knows Jeff and is telling Kiara that Jeff is a super fan. It's a fucking super fan. No one cares. What do you think about How's the first Exile reward? How gets to materials to make a fake idol?
He didn't really do anything with it.
It ends up being quite important later on.
It does. Yes, sorry. I do tell a lie. It is true. But he said, "Oh, it's my first chance to tell a good lie," so he's excited about that. I just an issue I have with this whole season is whenever someone got to Exile, they were just given something. There was you had to go searching for it. There was no clues. It was just, here you go.
It was a very small area.
Yeah, no, I agree. And that's, they did the best with what they had to work with. But, and just like a fake idol, I don't know, what is that going to do? I think it would have been done well if he had hidden it somewhere fairly easy to find and let someone else find it.
I feel like it would be better if he had a real idol to protect him. I don't know. I guess, look, to be honest, I guess what the idea was at the first tribal he went to, he could have said, "I have a idol for one tribal council. It's only the first tribal council I go to, and I'm just going to play it for myself on this first one, and then it's gone." Like, you could have said that. People believe that.
And if you say it's only good for one tribal, people aren't going to vote for you. They're not going to take that risk.
Yeah. So look, and you show it. Look, here it is. I'm just going to play this in the first one, and then I'm out.
It looks legit.
The only risk is then you play it, and then you don't play it, right? And you go, "Look, I actually decided not to play it. I felt safe with you guys, and I think we can use this now, like, to tell the other tribe that it's an idol or whatever when it's expired or whatever." Like, there's something you could do with it. He just never needed to. But I think that probably was what they were going for, maybe.
Potential.
I think it would have just been an idol, except that they got the super idol coming up in the next one, so it's like.
And also, he was already safe from one tribal, so it's like, they're going to give him safety from two tribals.
Do you think this is a challenge that someone should have thrown to get How?
That's interesting. I think that is more relevant when you get to the swap. When you've got someone that you've already played a bit of this game with this person, you want them on your tribe, that situation, you might do that. But for Hal, what's the difference between Hal and one other person,
I guess.
Or do you mean that, like, the first tribal you go to, you're not down a person?
Yes. And you're on purple, James is shifty. No one likes Jeff. Like, I think you probably keep Jeff, but let's just take out James and get the How guy in. He seemed like a bit more fun.
I don't think I would ever throw the first challenge.
I know, but because you don't want to be first
challenge too. Like, you're out there, you're playing, you want to win.
I'm just saying there's a valid strategy in it, but I get it. There's a note in the buffs, which again, I reckon they must have separated the men and the women because that's how they ensured they got. No, I don't know how they ensured that these ended up in each one either. When I get production on this, I'm going to have to ask them how they made this happen the way.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't love that clues being found randomly and basically telling someone this is how you get the idol. I think idols should be for the people who spend the most time looking for them. Like, we see Tony Vlachos talk a lot about how he found all these idols because he was just looking more than anyone else was, and he was rewarded for that. Just to open up your buff and this is how you're going to get an idol. I don't love that. I do love that it was hidden at the challenge. I like that.
Yeah, I could be mistaken, but did Tony get a hidden at the challenge idol?
He had a lot of idols. I don't
know.
He spent more time than anyone else looking for those idols.
Yeah. I like the hidden at the challenge too. I like that both Samara and Zach had the same requirements. I like seeing them both do it. I like the drama of Zach missing it and then having to go back. I like the confessional. The ding. That was very good because they didn't. I don't think they had the footage of him getting it, so they had to edit around it. I think that was all really well done. And I've also got that. Why is there no challenge commentary on this? Like, it needs commentary. Normally, Carl and Brian are pretty good at that. It's just dead air without it. And also, everyone was trash at this relatively simple puzzle. So
yes,
wasn't that hard?
Yeah, it wasn't that hard. I think the hard part was that they couldn't put the boards down. They had to put it in the thing. And so it's like becomes an issue of like juggling.
They were poor.
So see, I'm trying to be nice and you're just like, nah, you're shit.
Purple win. It's going to be one of the few times that happens. And off Blood Orange goes to Tribal Council. A group of 5, including Rafe, Samara, Ben, Andrew.
Rafe?
What?
Rafe. You mean Raphael?
Yeah, well.
Rafe is the guy from Guatemala.
Yeah, that's also short for Raphael.
True.
Raf is all fine. Raf. I feel like the Australians have Australized Rafe's name into Raf because normally, probably where he lives in Europe, it would be Rafe. Anyway, Rafe, Raf, Samara, Ben, Andrew, and Jake have formed a group, and they're going to be voting for Kiara. And like all the 3, then there's the 3 girls out chatting: Kath, Caitlin, and who is it?
Kath, Caitlin, and I don't have it written there.
I've got 3 girls.
It was 3 girls.
Kiara. It's Kat, Caitlin, and Kiara. Of course.
Oh, that's right. Caitlin is the one that flips.
There. And I'm like, why is it 3 and 5? This is not the situation to be in right before Tribal Council. Never let yourself be standing in a 3 for too long because you're leaving 5 somewhere else. Kath throws Andrew out to them. And I get where they're coming from because like Andrew could be seen as like too big and bombastic, but I think he's ingratiated him, so people find him amusing. He goes on through the game with people quite liking him. They find his like verbose, grandiose statements quite hilarious. People are generally laughing,
especially when they're tired. That they're all just laughing every time he opens his mouth at Tribal.
So it could be seen as annoying, but most of the time people seem to be finding it funny. So that was a bad throw out. But I think the edit does a good job of still making it unclear if it's Andrew or Kiara. And I thought that Kiara was really good at the Tribal. I thought the way she spoke and what she was saying was really positive. And obviously she goes out, but she has a much brighter future to come in season 4. Have you watched season 4?
No. I know that all the first boots come back.
Yeah. So, she gets another chance to play and we can look forward to talking about her then. I just know that Jake votes for Kath. Don't know what that is. Yeah. Idol, maybe? In case of Idol?
Yeah, sure.
Like, most Survivor commentators say there's 0 point in loading up on one person. Why is someone not throwing
I would agree, but why throw 1 vote? If you're going to throw votes, you need to throw at least 2.
Because Kath and Caitlin voted for Kiara too. So notwithstanding we didn't see it in the edit, they were obviously in with it. It was a pile.
No, it was a 5-2-1. There were 2 votes on Andrew.
Oh yeah, Kath got it wrong. That's right. Yeah, Caitlin was in with them.
Yeah, but there were 2 votes on Andrew, so it was 5-2-1. So the 1 vote on Kath meant nothing.
You're right. You're exactly right. Don't know. We're heading into episode 2 now, and the Purples are high on their own success. It's good.
1 challenge. Woo, we're the best.
We're going to enjoy it now. And then there's a question about if when they do go to Tribal, would you vote for someone based on challenge performance or rather make a power play and like look out to take out a big threat? And Maddie in front of everyone says, I'd go the power play.
Okay. Don't make a power play at the first Tribal. That's just ridiculous. Don't tell people you're going to make a power play. But also the whole idea of like voting someone based off 1 challenge, the challenges are not all the same thing. So someone doing poorly in 1 challenge, I wouldn't care about that. Someone who I'm not getting any sort of vibes, any connection from, you got to go. I don't like you. You're annoying me, whatever. or just get a consensus vote is the other thing.
I think you've really hit the nail on the head on what Maddie or anyone should have said in that circumstance. You shouldn't say, I'm going for the power play. That's crazy. From Maddie's point of view, and she says this a lot during the season, she says she's not good at the challenges. Mm-hmm. So if you identify as someone who's not good at the challenges, saying that we should vote out someone who's not good at the challenges isn't ideally what you want to say either. So I think what you alluded to just then, Jules, is the right answer, which is I think we should be voting for someone who's just not the right fit for the tribe. That's just not vibing with everyone the same that everyone else is. Particularly as Maddie, she's not really in the core, but she seems to be, she's sort of fifth there and she's liked by them. And she seems like a likable person. So I feel like that's the vibe of what you should be voting for if I was her. And that's the way it does go. So, yeah. But, then Liz hates her tribe. I think the actual statement is she low-key hates it, which is the name of the episode.
Good episode title.
It is a good one. And then we get the intro. And look, this is another production decision that I just don't enjoy. Carl and Brian, I'm sorry. Why are they not in tribe order? Why are they in alphabetical order? Why? I
don't know.
I want it in the tribes.
I don't know. I agree with you.
Howe's job is a sports gambler. That's not a job.
It just goes down to the TAB.
Not a fucking job.
I didn't notice that until about like halfway through. I'm like, sports gambler. Okay, so he just has a gambling problem and he doesn't have a job. Cool.
He needs the win. He really needs the winnings from this. I think he has a job now. I think that I'm trying to line him up for next week, and he has a lot of work. I think he's a photographer. But like he was like, it looks like he photographs, footy, and I think he was doing some stuff with Blink-182 for their concerts and stuff. So
I was at their concert last night. Fun fact. Anyway,
are we going in a couple of weeks? Okay, so the purple will go off idol hunting together, which I don't mind. I like. Just give yourself the permission to go. But again, they split into a 5-3.
Okay, let's go back to the group idol hunt. I don't mind it if you do the whole, hey, there's probably an idol here. Let's look so that we all have it together and it's the tribe idol. Like, I don't mind that. And because
I don't mind
for me, if I'm not finding the idol, I want to know who has it because that's the most powerful part. So if someone finds it and doesn't tell anyone, I'm nervous. But if we're finding it as a group and you find it, I'm like, well, at least now I know where it is.
But I also don't mind as an opportunity when they split to actually try and have a conversation with a smaller group, which, someone might find the idol, might not, who knows. But at least you have that opportunity. The problem is if you find yourself in a 3 and a 5, I think it was a 3 and a 4, and Maddie had gone to do confessional because she wasn't around for this bit. But you just left 4. Mm-hmm. And to me, they look like a bit of a natural 4, like the Stephen, Zach, Olivia, and Sammy, yeah. They look like a natural. Mm-hmm. They're similar ages, they're going to be the popular kids, whatever. Like, I'm not saying that's their vibe, but that's how they couldn't sort of. You can see where they group up, and but James and Jeff, who naturally see the villain in each of them, like decide to like group up and just drag Liz into it. Just have the fucking numbers. Like, what are you doing? You need to go get Maddie like ASAP. But
they're talking about like this is going to be the alliance, and it's like, do you not realize that everyone else is together right now? Like, they seem baffled by that.
So baffled. They continue to be baffled by this as it goes on, which is quite hilarious. So we get to the challenge, and this is not a great moment for Liz.
Blowout
on the lock.
Struggling with the revenue bills.
The big issue was they were confused about whether it was a 9 or an 11. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how did they know it was a 9 and not an 11? And I'm like, it must be because it was a 4-numbered lock.
It was a single-digit lock. Although I would say maybe put a line underneath.
No, it was a 4-numbered lock, I think.
Yeah, but they had 4 numbers that they had to use, so it obviously had to be a single
No,
number.
they only had 3 numbers to use. That's what had to
Oh.
be 11. You see?
Oh, okay. Then I take that back. Yeah, there should have probably been a line underneath the number.
No, that I like the way they did it. One tribe figured it out, the other didn't. There's 4 numbers. There's only 3 here. So that can't be 11, it must be 9.
Okay.
Because I'm sitting there going, how have the other ones figured it out? And how have the other that was the trick. I liked it. That was good. But it wasn't a great moment for Liz. I thought it was funny how Liz was on one and Kath, her best friend, was on the other.
Oh, they're basically with tied destinies this season, weren't they?
They did. I actually quite like this prison break challenge. I thought it was good. And then when purple, when orange win, they do this big sort of "we want blood" chant. But that was a bit much. I got criticized for over celebrating when my tribe was shouting "we want blood" on. And then they get to send someone to exile, which you're going to save them, but you're also going to reduce the numbers of people that can vote. And they send off Liz.
Yeah, and they talked about they want to send off someone who they see as maybe a bit weaker. I don't know why they would do that. Like that's
she'd fuck up the challenge.
Yeah, no, I know why they see her as weaker. Like they described her as being physically smaller than the rest of them. I understand that, but why are you sending the weaker person? Like it's not like it's real survival. You're in exile for 2 days without food. You're going to come back, and you're even. Is it because they thought they were going to vote her out?
I think from the orange perspective, Liz looked like an easy vote based purely on that challenge. Now, there may be more machinations going on at that tribe besides that, and you can't know. But
no,
that was an easy target because she sort of stuffed up the lock, or she did stuff up the lock. And so, therefore, don't give the other tribe an easy out.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that's the right go. And then how does Hal get... The other purple get to pick someone.
The purple tribe without Liz has to be pulled away. You can't talk to them. They decide who they're going to send, and they choose to send Hal back, which I like that as a decision. I think if you think there's idols and stuff at Exile, make it so that only one person from that tribe has gone.
Yeah, I think that's right. And then Liz says to us that she has an alliance and other people probably don't.
Oh dear, that's cute.
It's a huge underestimation.
Someone who has hosted an LRG, it's a very naive opinion.
Yeah. Look, this isn't her greatest showing, but she did do some really good confessionals, and the episode title was named after her.
I think their idea of their 3, they were like, right, we're 3, we're each going to pull one person in and we'll make it 6. I like that idea, but you don't want to be standing around as a 3 for too long and leaving the other people to talk. So, yeah.
I also think it's very hard to not make people feel like they're being brought into, like, what I mean, brought in. Like, what is this? Like, I'm the bottom of this. It's you 3 and the other 3. I did this in an org once, but it was like tribes of like 12, and it was a way of getting like a majority. And I was pretty much engineering who people were brought in anyway, and I was telling people behind the other people's back that that's who were bringing. There's nothing like that going on, right? Like, you know, I engineered it wholly. Not. It's
funny you mentioned orgs. I feel like these 3 are potentially all org players, and they were trying to use that strategy. And the thing is, if you've played, I went the other way. I played an LRG before an org. They are very, very different. You have to remember that in an org, you can't see who's talking to people. In an LRG, you can see every single conversation. Yeah. So you need to be very careful about who you're talking to. You can't be talking to your number 1 ally all the time, because then people see you as a pet.
It's a good lesson for Mark and Valeria and Vola.
Just too soon.
Just talk to each other way too much. The super idols are enormous.
I hate super idols. I'm just going to put that out there.
I think that the only way you do super idols is the combined. I
don't mind it combined. I would need to hear a clarification of the rules. I think so. The rule I know with the original super idol, like the one that Yule had, it had to be in the possession of the person that gets voted out. So I can't be holding the super idol. You get voted out. Oh, CK, here's the super idol. It has to be in your possession. And I feel like that should be the rule. You can't just like what they had in Co-Wrong, where two people were holding an idol each. And now that I've been voted out here, we can put them together by your powers combined. I think the person needs to be holding both of them if they're going to get voted out, because there has to be a level of awareness to play an idol. And that's why I like an idol, because you have to know you're getting the votes. And the super idol should be the same.
I think it was the Co-Wrong one, and the Co-Wrong one went so right that, like, how can you deny it?
Yeah, I was okay with it.
It was so good. If it was the way you wanted it, that moment would have been nowhere near as good.
Yeah, look, I'll admit that that I'll never forget that moment of Ty just being like, nope.
Are you gonna play it? No. Sorry. Yeah, it's an incredible moment. So I'm not really with you there on a production point of view. I can see the issue. They're overpowered. But if you're gonna do it, this is the way to do it. And I liked how big they were. Like, fucking good luck hiding that.
Good luck hiding that. It's like a dinner plate.
So James and Jeff are now trying to make a 5 with Zach and Stephen and Maddie to vote out Liv. And
I was, by the way, so confused when they're talking about voting out Liv, and I thought they were saying Liz, and I'm like, Liz isn't there. What are you talking about? So
it's Liv, Olivia. Yeah, but I appreciate. I even look at my notes. I've been getting confused. James says Zach and Stephen are super close. And then so I've got James tells, I don't know who he tells. I think that's right. James tells Jeff that Zach and Stephen are super close and that we've got to use that. But then Jeff is just crapping on Zach to Stephen. It's like, Jeff, you would, like, James gave you the heads up. Those guys are close. Maybe we should do a boys thing. I don't know. But they're together.
That probably would have been the way to go.
He's just crapping out.
Like, if you're going to split up a pair, use other people. Don't try and get someone to vote out there. And don't get CK to try and vote out Max. It's not going to happen.
Zach is weak and whatever. Yeah, James goes 5-2. I imagine he was devastated.
Mm-hmm.
He came with all these big plans about who he wanted to be, and this big villain.
Yeah. Can I ask, what did you think about what was the little show at the end? Something about Inside the Urn. Do you like that?
I don't watch those. I'm already watching that, binging this whole season.
No, because it was like they had it for like 5 minutes at the end of every episode.
Yeah.
You didn't have to watch it extra. It was just there.
Yeah. Are you asking what it is or what?
No, did you enjoy it?
I didn't watch it. I'm saying I'm binging the whole season to get to the next episode. Some of the episodes are quite long, so I didn't watch them.
I actually did watch it every time because they kept it nice and short and sweet. And it was very much like, here's who voted where. So we got to see and how it all came about. And Brian said he was actually very close to having James be his winner pick before the season started. Like, they were blindsided themselves when they found out that James was going to be the vote.
Wow, I'm glad you've watched them. This is some good extra content.
This was actually very handy when it came to making my notes. And I was like, especially like, not so much these ones, but later episodes, I was like, what just happened there? And they're like, right, they've got little graphics up. These people are over here and these people are over here. And then this person flips and goes, that was well done. I liked it.
Okay, good. We move into episode 3. There's such a fun arc in this episode.
There's a foreshadowing at the start of the episode. They're like, previously on, and they mentioned that Kath and Liz are BFFs. So like foreshadowing them both going. And like going in, my only spoiler for this season, I knew Liz was the third boot. And so I was like, oh, that's what's going to happen. Kath is the other boot. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah. It's hard to believe as we get there because it really is, should be playing the idol. But there's a great little arc in this episode, and I call it the Gaslight Alliance that Rafe forms with Kath at the start of this episode, and basically does everything he can to not help her get through this episode. Even though he says to her face, if I had an idol, I'd play it on you, which I think is a fucking meaningless statement because he doesn't have an idol, and how can you ever hold him to that? But she likes that. She feels good about that. And now Kath is feeling very good about Raph. And as we'll see through this episode, Raph just does nothing to live up to this promise. You might not have seen this as we want. It's very subtle. It's not clear in the edit, but as it goes, it's an incredible effort of just being a shit alliance member and gaslighting this girl through the whole episode. I know Raph doesn't come across as like a nasty guy, so I don't think that's what he's doing. But the hilarity of this pathway, we'll see. But I liked what he was saying to her. He's in the majority. She's not. Let's bring her in. Who knows what's going to happen? Everything can change.
Maintaining your relationships with the people outside of the alliance, it's always a smart thing to do.
And then Rafe tells us to confessional that we want to vote Ben. I'm like, who the fuck is we? Like, Ben is in like this massive fucking majority, like that are clearly at the top of the tribe.
I want to vote Ben out too, but okay.
Jake, Samara, Ben, How's got in there, Andrew's up there. That's fucking power. Like, I would vote for Ben.
No one's voting Ben.
Particularly Samara, I think, was quite close to Ben, and she seemed to be quite a glue piece for a lot of these other players.
Agreed.
Jeff is Devo. Jeff is devastated.
Oh, he's mad.
He's like, when did this happen? Did this happen when the three of us were away? I'm like, no shit.
Yes, it did.
You're out of the numbers, mate. You're in a lot of trouble.
We're done. All right.
And then Steven's like realized he lied to Jeff. He lied to Jeff because he lies to Jeff and says he voted for Liv. And he's like, that's dumb. Like he knows that I didn't vote for Liv. Like James didn't vote for himself, and Jeff knows who he voted for. Steven's like, why did I do this?
I don't remember who it was. Someone had said, "Oh, we wanted to tell you, but we didn't get a chance to talk to you by yourself." Like, that's a good try. Like, I like that.
And then Liv thinks that because she got 2 votes, that she's not close with her teammates. Like, you're in the majority. Don't fucking worry.
They have to vote for someone.
Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, who cares?
Okay, so then we're going to have a double tribal, and we've got a double immunity where people are paired up with someone from the other tribe. We've seen this before.
I like this.
In Canberra season 1, though this occurred before Canberra season 1, so Canberra season 1 copied them. But I think it's a good idea. With the odd person out going to exile, like it's a good way of sending the people to exile. It's not always.
It's different ways of going to exile almost every time.
Yeah. So I think that works well, and I think it's a good challenge. Very Australians. I think there is an Australian Survivor equivalent of this, which isn't with.
Yeah, there was. And like, oh my God, how am I blanking? Shawnee, how did I blank on Shawnee? Shawnee dominates that challenge twice.
Yes. So I liked it.
I would be terrible at that challenge.
You're not good at this? No good core? Don't have good core strength? I like that we get Liz and Hal paired up. Because they've got the super idol and they're just at the thing, and they drop it almost immediately. Obviously, Liz doesn't have any core either. So here we get to the first one of my Wraith gaslighting saga. It's Jeff and Rafe on one hand, and Jeff's fucked. Like, we know Jeff desperately needs this, and Rafe can see it in his eyes. He talks about later that Jeff is looking at him like, don't fucking drop this. And on the other side, we have Rafe and somebody else. I'm not sure who it is. So
with Kath.
With Kath.
Kath with Sammy.
Yeah, Kath with Sammy. So Rafe could right now drop it and save Kath, and then they could work up a plan together. It's fully within his power at that moment.
Easily done that.
To save her. It's not like it's a throw. It's like second to last. You did a good job. Yeah. Pissing off Jeff. Who cares?
Yeah. All that whole group has been talking about they want Jeff out. Like they're nervous about him. They want him gone. So
he'll play an idol. He doesn't need to play an idol. Just give him fucking immunity right now. You see what I'm saying? Is
Raph actually wanting to work with Kath or no? Because we see later when they're having their debate, they're talking about that, Raph and Kath are close, so we need to be careful of that. Like, is that actually a thing, or was that just Raph's like, oh, she wants to align with me? Cool, good for her. She can be an extra number for me down the road if I need her.
Yeah, yes, I think that's exactly what it was. It wasn't genuine, but it was about a potential extra number. But here's his chance to save that extra number at no real loss to himself.
Yeah. I don't know.
Though, look, maybe it will go badly. Well, let's talk about Caitlyn Exile. She gets the rock draw advantage.
I like this advantage.
Yeah, I like it too, and it ends up actually having an impact.
It matters. I like that it's not a super overpowered advantage. It's one that is very situational. I like it as an advantage.
And here's a hot tip for anyone who goes on an LRG in the future. If you get an advantage that's public, but people don't know what it is, just tell them you got the rock draw advantage and pick up a fucking rock from somewhere. Because this is the most like unthreatening advantage.
And it's one that makes people want to work with you because it is one that, okay, if I've got the rock draw, yes, it'll save me, but it also makes our numbers scenario better. We've got a better chance of all surviving because we've got one less person drawing a rock. Okay, I thought your hot take was going to be don't tell people about your advantages because I like the fact that she told people about this, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, so this is the one to say when you've got to fake. You don't want to tell people you got to steal a vote or whatever the fuck you got.
I would always say an extra vote because that's the other least powerful advantage I can think of. This is even better.
No, even an extra vote, I think people would get a bit threatened by, especially people that aren't that familiar with the game. But this one, because the odds are they wouldn't be a rock draw.
Yes.
So you didn't really need to fake whether you had it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I like
it.
It's a good move. For that, Rafe says that he thinks he was be safe anyway, but he's immune. But Ben, maybe not. Like they're all sus on Rafe chatting it up with Kath. And then
Ben is talking about that. We want to vote for Kath, but I'm worried that he's going to give her the necklace. Why is that a factor? Because he can't give her the necklace after the vote. So you have an idea. Oh, there's Liz. But if you pick up a random rock and be like, "Here's the rock," hard to draft up the paperwork out there. People don't necessarily want to see the receipts. Sometimes they do, but not everyone.
You don't have to show the paperwork.
Yeah,
and now you could be like. It's a rock draw thing like they had on Backyard season 3. Just like it's pulling nonsense out. Liz has arrived.
They're talking about we can't vote for Kath because Raf might give her the necklace. Like, no, that's not a factor. You just have a plan B in case he does that.
Do they not know how and when the necklace can be given away?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's good that Liz is tuned in now. We're about to get to her boot. And then
sometimes there isn't time to see the receipts anyway. Yeah, exactly. Like LRGs, you have no time to do anything. So
switch over to the purple. Liz comes back from Exile to see that James is gone, and she's shocked. She's Pikachu face shocked about this. I'm like, you had a 3-person alliance.
Yeah, but it was an alliance. No one else had an alliance. Weren't you paying attention?
It was the 3-person alliance, and you weren't there, so they were down to 2. Who do you think was going?
Yeah.
Jeff knows Liz is going. Does Liz? She doesn't want to use her idol, she tells us. I know she just got it, but like Jeff just won immunity. Like if Jeff
didn't win immunity, like I said, my only spoiler, Liz is the 3rd boot. And at the start of this episode, I'm like, does someone find a nullifier? Is that how this happens? Like, how did you not play it?
I think if Jeff wasn't immune, that's fine because I reckon they're
yes, I agree. But literally, the only person left out of the previous vote is safe.
I'm like, yeah, she's like Alex from the Carrots and Lyra. A 3-person would do the majority. My favorite bit though is Liz has a different plan. She's not going to play the idol. She's going to convince them not to vote her out, and she's going to tell it's because she's travelled. She's travelled all the way from. No, but she's travelled all the way from Brisbane, which is like the longest flight you can do in Australia. But then it adds, but not specifically for this.
I can afford this, but I have come that far. It's like you're making it even easier.
She just said, "I come all the way, but not for this, but I'm just here." But I'm like, what?
Yeah, and like again, people haven't seen my season yet. There were a couple of interstate people on my season. That was never a factor in whether or not I voted for that person.
So Liz doesn't play the idol. It's bizarre. She goes 6-1.
R.I.P.
I've asked, Liz is here with us right now, and I've asked her, when I did my interview for Melbourne Survivor 3, which was with Liz, JP, and Vince, and at the end they said, "Do you have any other questions?"
And that was your question.
I said, "Liz, why didn't you play your idol Backyard
Survivor? Cast you? I would have been like, "No, he's rubbing salt in the wound. He can go."
I'd already told them I was going to be their villain for the season, so I was just like tripling down on that, that I would be their villain. And so I was like, "Liz, why didn't you? What was up with that?" And I have talking to Liz. I've asked Liz questions about this before. What was it? The edit? Did it just look like it was really her?
They didn't believe you that you were going to be the villain.
Really?
I would have bought it a mile away.
Why did you cast me then? I was like, did the edit make it look this way? Was it not as clear on the day that you were probably getting the vote? She said, no, it's pretty clear. She said she wanted to, she just got the idol. She wanted to save it to have something with How, to have the super idol.
You need to still be in the game to be able to use the idol later.
Yeah.
When you get voted out, it comes out with you. So, yeah, advice future LRG players, if you think there's a good chance you're going and you have an idol, play it. If you think there's a slight chance you could be going, just play it. Just be safe.
Who did she vote
find another
for?
idol. You can't come back in once you're out. Well,
Do you know who Liz voted for?
I've got it written 6-1, but I don't remember who she voted for, actually. I don't have it written down.
Well. Maybe Maddie or something. Anyway.
Let's talk about Liz talking about what happened at her Exile trip. Liz, you're not a great liar here.
This just isn't general. Can I say Liz just generally isn't a good liar? That's
no,
just not,
she's not. She's too
that's not
honest
part
person.
of who she is. She's an honest
person. She's like, we were told to make an alliance or something. Like, okay. So I felt like I had to make a decision quick and easy anxiety, and I was impulsively like, let's risk it for the biscuit, but there was no biscuit. No, there was no biscuit for you, Liz. Okay, but Jules, you're very good at seeing through that. Oh, thank you.
Jules is, former police officer. They get trained to do this shit. But the fact is, Liz, you're a lovely person who, in your real life, you don't tell lies. You don't tell lies for any reason. You don't tell lies to make people feel good about themselves when they shouldn't. You don't tell lies to spare people's feelings. You just tell it like it fucking is. That's who you are. So you don't lie at all. I lie all the time to make people feel good about themselves when I don't think it. That's what I do. Bail them up. You don't bail anyone.
I got along so well.
You just tell it like it is, and so I imagine it's very, very hard for you, Liz, to lie to anyone because you just don't practice it at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so Liz goes, and then we get the tired destiny of a bestie, Kath, going out. There's a moment where Andrew gives Kath an absolute fucking death stare when Brian or Kyle asks if he knows who voted for him. He's just like...
Oh, and can we talk about Andrew putting the numbers on his votes? Because on the first one, he's like, oh, the important thing is the number right here. And it had number 1 on it. I'm like, oh, he's going 1, 2, 3. And then the next one had 14, and I'm like, oh, he's spelling his own name. My notes literally say, Andrew's first vote 1, second 14, spelling Andrew, cringe.
Yes, I didn't realize that. But you do have to do something to your vote.
I know, but it's very Coach in Heroes versus Villains.
Was Coach doing something like that?
Coach I can't remember what he was spelling, but he was putting numbers on his parchments that were in each number was a letter in the alphabet, and he was spelling something.
I like Coach. I got a bit of Coach vibe going on tonight. Yes, you do need to put something on your vote because that's how you know it's your vote.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how you can also build trust with people by saying my vote will have a number on it. So you always know when it's my vote because there's a number on it.
This is true. And we have Ben throw a stray vote on Caitlin, a running theme with my notes. Why?
He also calls her, Kate. Yeah, I'm voting Kate or Kat, which she hates.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kat goes out 6-2, and including Rafe votes for her, and thus, as I say, completes the most incredible one-episode fake gaslighting alliance in LRG history. I'm playing idle on you. Doesn't
Yeah.
save her.
But I'll also vote you out.
Doesn't give her immunity when he can. Votes her.
Mhm.
Does nothing to save her.
Good ally.
Okay. We get to episode 4. You get your answer. Ben says he did it for chaos. He's an agent of chaos.
I don't care.
That's why he voted that way.
And then he denies it. So they're all like, who voted for Caitlin?
If you want to cause chaos, vote for fucking Andrew.
Vote for someone in your alliance. That'll just make, ooh, who did that?
People like Andrew and myself cannot handle getting stray votes that they don't know where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
We can handle getting a vote from whomever. It's whatever. It's fine. But not knowing the votes, like you see him later where he loses his mind that the split isn't quite right and it doesn't fucking matter, right? So it's one thing you need to know you want to know where the numbers are, and you want to know because you think you want the full control. You want the full picture. And if there's something going on you don't know about it, that freaks you the fuck out. Add in actually being a vote for you lose your mind. And, anyone that followed the recent Drunk Viber, and look, admittedly, I was very drunk, so I was playing very poorly, but I was in the spirit of the game. But on the first vote, somebody threw a vote on me. Didn't matter. Like, all the votes were on Billy. He had an idol, and there was a bunch of votes on CM, so he went. Like, it didn't fucking matter.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, who voted for me? And I was sure it was one of these three guys. And I decided it was not this one, Harrison, but I accused Nick or Alex. I can't remember. I thought they were the same guy. I can't remember what their names were. But I accused Nick and that other guy like 50 fucking times. It's because I was drunk. That one of them had done it. And they were like, no, I would have been Billy.
Wasn't it Kyle?
Who? Is Kyle here?
No, wasn't it Kyle that voted for you?
No, it was CM.
Oh, okay.
And the thing is, CM walked into the confessional booth, and he's played orgs with me, and he knows how I react when this happens in orgs as well.
So he did it for that reason.
He holds it and goes, CK is my best ally here, but he's going to lose his fucking mind when he gets this vote, and he'd never think it would be me. So me and him are just going to be even tighter. And he was absolutely fucking right. I never suspected it was him. Unfortunately, he got voted out then, and I didn't even listen to them.
Yeah. See, I just remember that Drunk Viber. I got idled out by our lovely host, Kyle.
Yeah, Liz says somehow Drunk Viber comes up. Look, that's because the last Drunk Viber, Jules and I were pretty elite at it. This one, we both went pre-merge, so it's probably the last you'll hear about it.
I would have been medevaced if I wasn't idled out by Kyle.
Okay, I also would have been medevaced. We didn't do well in the balance challenge to come back. Okay, anyway. Hal has his fake idol, and he shared it with Jake and Andrew. But it is a fake idol. It's not a real idol. It's a fake idol that they can mess around with. He doesn't tell Ben. I sort of like this player. Like he's like trying to make a little inner core with the sort of lads that he's sort of getting on with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like sharing something like that with. Generally speaking, I say if you've got an advantage of something that's less powerful, and a fake idol I'll put in that category as well. Sharing it with people is a great way to build trust. And if he's saying, I'm only telling you, I'm not telling someone else, that makes it, oh, look at me. This person likes me better than I like them. And the best way to get someone to trust you is to show them that you trust them. Like, if I'm feeling like, oh, I really like CK, but I don't feel like he trusts me, I'm not going to work with you.
Yes. And so showing that hardware is the way to really lock that in. Particularly if you've got some paperwork to show like it is a fake idol. I don't know if he had the paperwork, but I think House is very believable. Jeff's now wearing like a weird parrot necklace. I've got in my notes. Like, I don't know where this came from. It's like an idol fake out. I don't know. And then Jeff says if they swap, he's sticking purple string. I'm like, fucking ass you are. Like, was anyone's buying that, Jeffrey?
I mean, that's what you say, isn't it? Oh, when we swap, I'm sticking with this group.
He does say he's not a good enough social player to flip, which he's sort of right about.
Yep. Some points for self-awareness there. I'll pay that.
He needed the numbers to need him, I think, is more of the issue. And there, I don't know what Liz says Jeff is a bird guy. Like Omar's the here. He's got more of a Jonathan vibe.
Very Jonathan vibe.
Yeah. There's a conversation with Jeff and Liv, and there's like a Zach confessional cut into it. and I can't remember it, but I've said it's fantastic. So it must have been good for me to flag that. I think it's just the way Jeff's talking to Liv and what Zach's saying about it would have been very good. And then I said, what is this backyard? Like, what is this backyard? Like, the stuff that's in it. It's sort of like sometimes
is it actually a backyard, or is it like the surrounding park that's next to a backyard? They got an Airbnb next to a park.
Industrial shit. There's a pool. There's like, anyway, apparently they got it last minute. It's interesting. I'll give it that. So we have a swap, and
it was about. Thank you, Liz.
Yeah, no lies detected. They've got a different basket for the swap, so we're going to get a mix. But this also pretty much immediately fucks purple.
Yes.
Because you're only going to get a 4-3 and a 3-3.
Yes.
It could have even been worse.
So both tribes ended up 3-3, and Jake went to Exile.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yes. So one thing I've talked before about, I don't like when they do a tribe swap and then they change their tops. I think you should stay the color top that you started with so that it's very easy for the audience to see, okay, which tribe were they starting on? But then there was no step, all right, let's have a look at how these new tribes are shaking out. So I had to actually just pause my screen and look at, okay, wait, who's here and where did they come from? So yeah, one thing I would always say is, okay, the new blood orange tribe is this, and this. We've got 3 original blood orange, 3 original purple.
Look, you're right. And I know that's your pet peeve. You talk about every season. I was wrong. Yes, I thought this was very good. It's guaranteed to be a 3-3-3-3 with someone going to. It could have been different. It could have been a 4-2 somewhere if purple had got the black.
I think someone from orange.
No, because they had different baskets, so they must have put the black one in the one how did they do the different baskets?
I didn't pay that much attention, but I feel like it was one basket for purple, one basket for orange.
Yeah, so they definitely made it.
They guaranteed it was going to be 3-3 on each tribe, and that someone from original orange was going to Exile.
I think that's a mistake because they put the super idol in there back.
Yes, and it meant that 2 people from orange were going to have the super idol. That's a good point.
I like the strat of ensuring a 3-3-3-3 because it's going to make interesting votes.
But maybe not have the super idol at Exile, have it there the next round.
They wouldn't have had the super idol there if Liz didn't get voted out. They're very keen on the super idol existing. I think they should have held on.
Go another round though.
Yeah, they should have held it. I think that was the only error there. We line up for the challenge. Well, we can talk about who's there when we get to the various votes. We get to the challenge, and I read in my notes, I hope they don't show all 6 rounds of this. But then I actually enjoyed the 6 rounds. There's some good
like this challenge. We've seen it once in the Philippines, and we didn't see it since. I really like it as a challenge. It's a combination. I like any challenge that is a combination of physical and mental.
Yeah. There's strategy to it, but it's also physical. I agree. It was good. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind watching the rounds. And then I look at this, and so we know that orange have won, so purple are going. And I'm like, if they don't vote out Jeff, they are going to be so jacked with Jake and Hal on their tribe.
Yeah.
And
so we see that Zach is immediately throwing Jeff under the bus. Let's vote for him. For me, I know that they don't trust Jeff. Whatever. But you know that Jake is coming to the tribe when you go to tribal. I would not be willing to get rid of a purple number at that first vote. I know you don't think that Jeff is a number for you, but you have to do what you can to avoid that.
This is a tough one. Like, you're absolutely right. This is the prisoner's dilemma that, it's been happening all week with Kirby and Ferris that people have been talking about in Australian Survivor. You should stick together, but can you trust Jeff not to flip over to them?
No, you can't.
There's one play you could make. One play.
Play the idol?
you'd have to say as Zach, Jeff, I have an idol. I reckon we can get them to vote for you.
And I'll play it on you.
Yeah. Like, I reckon they'll vote for you and we can make that happen. And we can say, you know, you're on the outs. We'll vote for you. Play the idol on you. Of course, then Samara will play her idol on someone. And Hal might as well also. And it would require them to pick the right target. They wouldn't vote for Hal because he went to Exile twice. Samara or Ben.
They would probably vote Samara.
She probably plays the idol on herself. Probably saves it. And then now...
Yeah, all the idols ended up on the one tribe.
Yeah. And then, so if that happened, then it's now a rock draw, potentially between Ben, Zach, and
I think it's me. Zach's not giving his idol to Jeff. Like, that's not going to happen.
I also think the reason why it's not going to happen is because all you're doing is bringing Jake in. So you don't actually fix the numbers. You still want a 3-3 on the next vote.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do like what he was trying to do. Like, so we see Zach approach Ben and is like, we should make a 4. You and Samara, me and Maddie will be the 4. And I think he needed to really, I mean, it didn't work because he was close with Hal, but he needed to push, okay, we'll vote out Hal, and then when Jake comes, you will still have the orange numbers, and then we can vote out Jeff after that. I think that was his best play.
I think the problem is they were fucked because the orange is not just 3 orange, but 3 orange that was super tight, and then Jake's the other one that's super tight with them. Like, this was their core 4, sort of with Andrew as well, but like, you know, this isn't just a bunch of people from the cohesive orange tribe. This is like the core power of the orange tribe who have all the fucking idols as well.
Yeah.
Like, so there wasn't a lot they could do. So I do think throwing Jeff under the bus is probably the right move. I just going back to Jake at Exile, I said, I wonder if he'll realize that the idol he's got has purple. It's a purple idol. It's purple string. It's purple half of the super idol. Will he think, oh, maybe someone from orange has the other half? Maybe, you know. He did think Hal. He said Hal's been to Exile a few times, but you know, never thinks to actually.
Never asked him about it. And see, there is the problem with it being a real idol on its own. You don't get that. It's never going to play out the way you want it to. I mean, I think the way they originally did it, having them both know about it, but when you have to hide one of them, and the person to Jake doesn't know that Hal's got it, then you don't get that reward.
I'll give you wrong.
Okay, an LRG is very different to a long-term game. You're not going to have someone in a one-day game share that they've got an. I mean, you do get that, but you know.
No, fair enough. You're right. Stephen tells us that he thinks this could have gone better, like the swap. I'm like, no, it couldn't. It was deliberately set up to do this to you. That's how they had the 2 baskets. It couldn't have gone any other way. And you've at least got 2 of your tight allies. You're not there with Jeff and Maddie, who was like your 5th. So it's actually gone quite well for you, Stephen, when you actually think about it.
I wouldn't be
and
complaining.
You've got a looser group of orange.
Yes.
They end up sticking quite tight.
Caitlin is on the outs.
Yeah. So it actually went fantastic for you, Stephen. There's a point where back in purple, everyone just walks off without Jeff. Like, they just leave him there. Are you talking about? And then Jeff pitching voting Samara and a final 3 with these guys.
Yeah, with Ben and Hal wants to be.
I'm like, fuck, that's an overplay. Like, why aren't you just throwing Maddie under the bus?
But he does well at reading that they want to work with Jake, because he's like, we will be a final 3, and then when Jake gets here, he can be with us. We'll be the final 4.
Yeah, but why are you saying let's vote out fucking Samara? Like, you just got to throw Maddie out.
Right.
And then it cuts to tribal with like 0 information as to what's going to happen. But I guess because there was no actual alternative vote than Jeff. And I said, I don't think Ben's into Zach's nice guy act. Maybe this is the vibe I'm getting. And Maddie's like, we're sticking purple strong. And Jeff's behind her going like, no,
we're
no. And Jeff goes 4-1-1.
We had a tribal the crew. Someone was forgetting to film Jake for a sec. Had to pick that up again.
He's just sitting there. I guess that's what he's gesturing to. We're sticking purple strong. He's saying it to Jake.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we see a 4-1-1. Maddie voted for Samara. Don't know why. And then Jeff voted for Maddie.
Yeah. But he did shave his balls for this.
Yeah. Why?
You didn't like that exit statement? I thought it was funny.
No.
You think it's gross?
You
just find testicles gross in general?
Yes, they are.
They're functional. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. Coming from him, I thought it was funny.
Shaving your balls for an LRG.
Well, he obviously didn't. This is a joke, right? I don't think he actually shaved his balls for it.
He probably did.
It's a joke.
I wouldn't put it past him.
I thought it was fun. All right, anyway, we have different views on it. We're allowed to be different. That's fine. Episode 5, purple, and I'm like, ooh, Hal and Jake are on the same tribe, and they've got the super idol. And this is what continues to me, an episode by episode, like excitement of when they're going to reveal to each other that they've got the super idol and they can combine and it never fucking happens.
Never happens.
But I feel like the fact that it didn't happen kept me more interested because I'm like, when will it happen?
Anticipation, yeah.
We're supposed to have got it. Like, it's irrelevant. Yeah, wow, they got super idol. Now they're more fucking powerful. But like, yeah, anyway. How'd consider giving Jeff his fake idol? He really wants to just give this fucking fake idol to someone. It's his whole like saga, the whole thing.
I mean, I would have had much more fun hiding it somewhere that's very obvious that it's going to be found. Like I would be doing an Angelina and just like put it somewhere really obvious, and then I'd have to do a better job of pretending to be surprised when someone found it. But yeah, that's what I would have done.
Well, that depends on whether in his idol making kit they gave him materials to make the paperwork.
You need the paperwork.
Do you think they gave him materials for the paperwork?
I don't think they gave him the paperwork.
Yeah,
I don't think they anywhere in Real Survivor, LRG, I don't think you would ever be cruel enough to have a fake note. Like, fair enough, if you've got your note and you want to hide that with your fake idol, go for it. But to have a fake note with a fake idol that they've given you, that's too much.
Let me do it.
Of course you
There's not much of a fake idol kit without a fake note.
Yeah, you need the receipt. If you're finding it, like, otherwise it's just a fucking stick.
Correct. So I don't think Hal could really hide it. He's got to do what he's doing with it.
That's good. That's a fair point.
Jake tells us he doesn't like the color purple. And he appears to be wearing a blue singlet. Like, dude, it's not gay to wear purple.
Stay in orange.
It's not gay to wear purple. You can wear purple. There's nothing wrong with it. And maybe that's what he's saying. He just doesn't like it. But Hal's got like a pink singlet as well. I'm like, can these people not like color code? You don't want them changing anyway. And then Maddie calls him out and Jake says he's colorblind. I'm like, I don't think color, like you're red-green colorblind, right? It's under blue and purple.
Yeah.
And then Maddie says Jake's a real dick.
Maddie.
Like, no, to his face.
I know, but it's just, oh dear.
Was she trying to be funny? Like, what was this? Like, and he didn't love it. He's not enjoying that.
No, he wouldn't.
So I'm like, what were you doing? like, you trying to get a bit of a banter going? I don't know. It was pretty weird. Zach is terrified of Jeff. I guess that Jeff's gonna like come and get him after the game or something. And he can't do an eating challenge. They all feel the eating challenge is coming, but at least he's got an idol. They're gonna have another double tribal, which I think is sensible. I
get it from time saving perspective. I don't love to. I think do it once, one and done in a season, because it is harsh when you when you're on the bottom of a tribe and you're like, oh, shit, now I have to go to tribal. Like, you can still
Nah.
win immunity, but yeah.
We're gonna get this fucking merge in this thing. Like, it's dragging. Like, I think this thing
No,
gets
yeah,
merged.
like I said, I get it from a time-saving perspective.
So I'm cool with it, and I like the mechanic how you can step off. Because like you can step out and go to exile, and then I was like, well, I'm not going to do that because that would be like suicide. It's an individual challenge. Okay, well, I guess I could do it. Like, what? No, it's not offending the rest of my team. It's an eating challenge. It's like,
yes,
boom.
yes, boom.
That was well done.
But I love that, like, Zach stepped off because he's like, oh, my tummy's not feeling great. I don't want to eat anything. And then it's like, here's some actual food that you like. It's like, oh.
I don't want that either. So, eating challenge. How do you think you would have gone with sardines and Vegemite?
I think I would have done okay because Vegemite is just salt. So it's like basically salty sardines. I could do that.
Yeah, I don't mind. It'd be fine. The crickets.
I've never eaten a cricket. I'd be interested to see how it goes.
Worm.
I might struggle with the worms. I don't know that I would do well in an eating challenge in general, but I would always have to give it a go.
I'd be very good at eating challenges. I wish I had them.
I like that Backyard Survivors eating challenges are actually stuff that like they do weird combinations. I like that.
I can pretty much eat anything, and I won't gag on it. It's fine. I can do anything.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me about you.
I've done it before. I've done challenges. It's fine. And I can eat really quickly. And then the pickles. Oh man, I would smash those pickles. I'm a pickle person.
I like that. I like that for a tiebreaker. It's like, okay, on a tiebreaker for like who goes tribal first. You got 10 pickles. It's one person can eat all of them if you want. And it's Sammy that's just like, yeah, give me those pickles.
Yeah, Sammy's just like, and Maddie's like, nah, I'm out. And then they had the pickle counter. That was great.
I like that.
This whole thing was good. Are you a pickle person? Can you eat the pickles?
No.
Take them off the burger?
I pickles off my Big Mac.
Oh, and I'll take the pickles that you put off and put them on mine.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right, we'll get back together next time.
Yeah. You're Exile. It's a good reward. They don't want it. I think what's really smart by Steven here is he takes the paper that told them what they got.
Yeah, that's clever.
So he can go and go, look, it was just a meal. Look.
Yeah.
I don't have any special advantages or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Can help him. But I like that he said that. I think that's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at orange now, and Andrew's pushing very hard against the rocks. And Liv's pushing.
We had a confessional with Raph, and it was kind of funny because he kept like repeating the crickets. He kept like, he'd be talking, he'd be like, oh.
It's burping, yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
That was funny. And Liv's pushing, it says how, but that can't be right. Someone to make a move. And then I clocked that.
Basically, I've got OG Purple is trying to get Andrew to flip, and OG Orange is trying to get Steven to flip.
Yeah. And I'm like, they're going to go to rocks. And Caitlin has the Dingo Rock, the rock advantage. I'm like, they're going to go to 1-1, I've realized here.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's buying the rocks argument. They're all pretty kind of scared rocks. I've got to think Andrew's Rock River Destiny hydroelectricity speech that he makes to them is bizarre. It's like, it's coach-like, I've said.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Very coach-like. I don't remember. He said a lot of stuff that was funny.
Yeah. And then we go to purple. They want to vote out Zach because he went to Exile. Exile said something about how. And then I've got Ben is such like a godfather, like 100% of the time. Like, you can't tell me, like, he's just not fucking like living it up in those confessionals.
Mm-hmm. He loves it.
And Samara says if they had an idol, they would have played it by now. I'm like, why? When would they play the idol?
They wouldn't have played the idol by now. I like that Zach shared it with Maddie.
Yeah.
He's like, update, I've got an idol.
Yeah. And I'm like, Maddie could be Sareed here. Because I'm like, they all have idols.
Yeah. That could have very easily. Because we have, 4 idols on that tribe now?
Yeah. Yes. So Zach has an idol, Samara has an idol, Jake has an idol, Hal has an idol. And who's immune? Who have I got winning? Hal won. So he could give an idol. Well, it's not going to happen. It would mean he'd have to give an idol to Zach. He's not doing it. Oh, no, sorry.
Jake. Oh, no, Jake has one as well.
Yeah, there's so many idols. Maddie could be absolutely just serene advantage getting out of this, but they're all good, and they're excited. And
if Zach's idol play had been correct, that's exactly what would have happened.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're exactly right, because they don't know. Because they haven't.
I guarantee you, if they voted for Zach, or if Zach plays the idol for Maddie, I guarantee you, Samara stands up and plays her idol, and then Jake plays his. She's done.
And Jake doesn't even know about the super idol yet. That house with the other half. So
no. Oh, and then Ben. So that's when Hal would play his for Ben.
Would he? Probably.
I think if all the other ones have been played, yes.
Well, when Jake pulls out his giant fucking dinner plate out of his bag, Hal would probably go, "Hold up, don't play that."
Yeah, hang on a second, hang on.
I got it. We'll just see who they vote for, and then we have to waste idols. All right, all good.
It would suck if Samara had played hers first.
Well, she probably would. I think she'd be the first to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. Do you think Hal would have done something like that? I asked him in one interview. It's pretty bold, but it would have been the sensible thing to do.
I think if he'd seen the first one, he'd probably twig quickly, just be like, "Hang on,
don't play that.
Don't play
that." And I'm like, Zach, I've written here. Zach should have looked closer at their faces, like when he gets up to play his idol, but they've clearly voted for him. And I'm like, well, I was wrong. So they're good poker faces, but it's actually a 2-2. No, it's a 2-2-2. No, it's all on Maddie. What the fuck? Why not the split? Why is it not a 2-2-2?
Why was it not a split vote? They had the numbers to do it. Oh, I think though they talked about splitting as well. I think they were worried about an extra vote or a vote steal or something.
Maybe. I don't know. It works out for them.
Because he'd just been Exile. Yeah, it would have made sense that he could have had an extra vote.
And now we get to Orange, and what I like to call the greatest unfair treatment of Rafe in the history of LRGs.
Yep.
The way he is tarred and feathered for what he does here.
When
he's fucking hung out to dry.
He have a 50-50 chance of going out.
He is hung out to dry by Andrew and Caitlin.
I feel like Andrew shouldn't have had a say in it, because when they're having their decision where they've got to come to a unanimous vote, the people involved and the people that are safe don't get to be a part of it, because there's no risk to them because they're not going to rocks. Andrew is now also safe from this, so he shouldn't have got to have an opinion either. It should have been down to Stephen and Rafe. Do you guys want to go to rocks, or do you want to come up with a decision together?
Yeah, well, it could have been more interesting. I think maybe production should have interfered, but Andrew was stumping so hard on his political soapbox and making such a strong argument that,
it's all well and good for him to be like, "Oh, no, I'm not sacrificing Caitlin." Yeah, you're safe. You're fine.
I know. How dare you, Rafe? How dare you suggest that we should vote for Caitlin? And he's just found out he's on the bottom of this alliance.
100%.
However, Rafe's actual mistake is not swapping his vote
on the revote. That's when he should have done it.
Because he sees Caitlin give Andrew the rock before he gets up to vote.
So he knows.
That was the moment. Yeah, he knows. He knows
it's going to be a
1-1. And then you come back, Andrew's on the bottom, and you go to those purples and you go, well, this is what happened. This is why I flipped my vote. She handed him a rock. It's a rock advantage, so it was good. And she didn't give it to me. She gave it to Andrew. So it's going to be a 1-1. Me and one of you guys, it would have been Stephen. And I just got completely hung out to dry. So I'm like, fuck it. If she is going to prioritize Andrew, I'm going to prioritize myself. And I'm going to flip the vote. And I'm with you guys now. And then we can do Andrew next. And I'm there to be another purple, because I know the purples are down in numbers as well. I'm done with those guys.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That's what Ray should have done. But then the way they talk going to the next episode, also
the way Andrew spoke before they started the vote. He's like, "You can see the writing is on the wall." It's like, That's a great argument from your perspective, but it does not do anything to help the purples. The writing is on the wall. The purples are going to get pagonged. Yeah. Why would we help you with that?
It's a good impression.
Thank you.
Caitlin, at the beginning of this episode to Rafe, I thought we had an alliance. And probably like Rafe were like, yeah. And then you gave the fucking rock to Andrew.
Like literally 50-50 chance that he was going to go home. He's lucky to still be there.
Yeah. It's so unlucky that Stephen didn't survive. It would have been more interesting because
it would have been great.
Then this next one isn't great, like either because of what happens, and like I thought it actually could be quite interesting. But with the way Exile works, it just gets completely fucked up.
Yeah, I didn't like. We'll get to that, but I didn't like the way Exile worked this time because it meant that the oranges were going to save a purple to give them the numbers. Yeah. So I think if they needed to make it random somehow. Or have a way where one of the oranges could have gone and then we could have done it all again.
Yes. It wasn't the production potentially should have been tweaked in the live time here to keep it interesting. But anyway, I just felt really sorry for Rafe here because the way they dog on him for like betraying you fucked him first. Like, unless there was a discussion before that, you know, if it's not Caitlin, she'll give one of us the rock. She'll give it to me. You know, I don't know. Like, it seemed like it all came out of the fucking tribal council. Zach is very much sort of the underdog you root for the whole season. He's the last purple. You hear he thinks he's a stronger player, but he's a little nervous and he's subtle. It's like Maddie's much more powerful and big, so maybe that's why they voted for her, I guess. He's trying to work it out. Jake does an amazing job here of faking about not knowing what the super idol is.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Hal's there when he's doing it. And I think Hal just locks in, well, Jake can't have it. Like,
no, that didn't even know what a super idol is.
Super idol. Like, he's playing this like I'm a dumb guy, and he's actually not that dumb. And he's playing him. That's his whole
he plays that
stick.
well.
Yeah, I'm dumb jock, right? That's his stick. He's actually smarter than that. And he's doing that and really like lowering his threat level really well. But here was the wrong time. I'm like, oh, they're never going to put together. I'm not sure what this challenge is because I said it looks like a pain in the ass.
My notes say team balancing water. Love this challenge. It took me a minute to remember. They've got like the plate and they're all pulling on it and they've got to balance the water. And Andrew fucks up the challenge for them. But no one wants to say it to him.
He maybe threw it.
No, he didn't throw it. When they were putting it down, he wanted to put it down on the table, whereas they could take it off as soon as they crossed the line. So what Purple did is they would cross the line, someone would grab it. He was like, no, let's set it down on the table. And then because they didn't set it down evenly, it spilled.
The problem with someone like Andrew, and I'm very much in this category as well, is you're so confident in everything that you think that it's hard to
and he speaks with such conviction too. Like you can't go against that.
And look, when I play Survivor, I don't think people buy it, but I think in real life they do sort of listen to me a bit more. But on Survivor, everyone was listening to Andrew. Like he was coming across.
This is what we need to do.
I think it's because
we need to set it down on the table. And I can't think of the big words to be able to imitate him properly.
I think it's because it was so ludicrous. They're like, "Is this for real? Like,
who is this guy?" Person?
Yeah, like I think that's what they were
actually like that. Can someone tell us? Is Liz still here?
He's still. I've been writing with him, trying to get him to appear in the tea party, and he's been writing his like Facebook messages to me like that. This is who he is.
Andrew, please come on the tea party.
All right, we've got to get him on the tea party. He's got to be there. Please.
Imagine him and Annabelle having a conversation.
Come on, it would be him and Maddie and Ben. It would be incredible. Anyway, and okay, what am I looking at?
Forget Exile. So they tell the new purples that it has to be a unanimous decision, but of course, Zach just goes with whatever they say. And they send Liv basically saving her from the vote, making sure that Sammy is the vote here. And Liv goes to Exile, and she gets a jar of lollies that says you must keep it a secret, but you can share with whoever you choose. Like, is it a secret or can she share it? It's neither, and it's both.
Confusing. I have to say, I like the idea. I liked how Purple understood what they needed to do right away. And Liv was the right pick because Sammy is threatening. But I'm like, fuck, this made the episode boring. Like, Rafe might have done something interesting.
I agree. I think, I think they should have tweaked it in the moment. I'm happy to have Exile and then have her come back just before the vote, or have her come back as Tribal starting. You don't get a chance to talk. You're going to go to Exile and you're going to come back straight into Tribal.
Yeah,
that might have made Raph flip.
Yeah, I think he would have looked to flip. I think he was burnt. I think he was annoyed. I said, does anyone give a shit about lollies at this point? And also, I'll be pouring out those lollies. There could have been something in there.
She was looking through it.
Yeah. And then
I think, they do a lot of food rewards on Backyard, and I just think I'm hungry.
Yeah, I don't need this much food. I don't need this much food in real life. I don't think that much. Zach thinks that he can rely on the 4 because there's so many oranges. I'm like, that makes sense. He's got a connection with them. Someone's gonna have to
trying to be the last purple standing, that's a pretty good strategy because you know that they're not all going to go, like I said before, they're not going to go to the end together. So, yeah.
And like, it's funny how this 4 are so tight, but no one's sharing their idols, which comes up a bit later. Hal finds the water clue. He shows Jake and Samara, and just fucking immediately find it. Just to add another fucking idol into their like. Yeah, done. Another one. They didn't tell Ben about that one. It really showed that Ben was like the 4th of
Ben
their
was on
3.
the last.
Yeah. And then I've got Andrew should be on Real Survivor. The secret police stuff shut down the dissent. Like this, he's doing a confession.
He's talking about we need to cleanse the tribe of the old purples. And then he's listing every single person as a threat.
And there's no secret police shut down dissent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's 2 episodes in a row with the episode titles as well. Because
I wasn't noting the episode titles.
And then Andrew's like, I see myself working with Kat. Meanwhile, Caitlin hates being called Kat. That's been established throughout the season. And then Andrew keeps talking about how Kat gave us the idol and then being pissed at Raph and now wants to burn him. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, Sammy goes through one. I think Boston Sammy could have been quite good. Strong challenge. Strong.
I like Sammy. I mean, and even we saw she doesn't know much about Survivor, but she knew she was fucked there. Like she was like, well, I guess it's me. Like, that was
We didn't talk much about Steven as well. I liked Steven too. He was good. He was nice guy, but, he wasn't in a lot, but a good vibe. Get the battle back, and I'm like, what a fucking challenge! Like the last bit, not the earlier bits.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Domino Tower first. Whatever. We get Jeff, James, Kath, Kiara go through the second round, and then we had the stacking the blocks with your feet. I will say I've got in my notes. I think the milk crate they were sitting on was a bit too low because trying to get that last block on, especially for Kath, who's got shorter legs, I wouldn't have the flexibility to be able to do that. I'd just be like, well, I'm done.
Jeff was already a master of that milk crate, as we saw earlier. He's big as well, but that's a hindrance in this sort of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
But I'm looking at this, I'm like, this is fucking impossible.
Kath had to do it 3 times because she got all the way to the last block, it dropped. She got all the way to the top again, and she'd misspelled revenge. We had the HHH upside down U incident. And then eventually she does it a 3rd time and gets it right.
Just to be clear, the hosts missed an incredible opportunity when she misspelled it to say, revenge is the dish best spelt correctly.
Well done.
That was one of my final moments when I wrote that. Jeff loses by it's like a second.
It's like, he's like finished and she's won her way back in. Like there was nothing in it. I will also say at this point, I did not know that it was only one day. I thought maybe they'd gone 2, and I could see that it was starting to get dark. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Bring her back in, and then they're gonna go have night. No, it was that we were just getting started.
That was a fantastic battle back. The battle between Jeff and Kath, amazing.
And it just to me, like as much as I was happy to have Kath come back in, it just really hammered home that purple has no chance because there was only 2 orange people battling in out of what 6? No, 7. I don't know. There was a lot of people there, and only 2 were original orange, and of course, it's an original orange that comes back in.
At merge, 7 of the original. No, I think
like in the battle back, there were only 2 oranges competing.
Yeah.
And one of them managed to get back in. Like I'm just
the only orange that is not at the merge is Kiara.
Yeah.
Every other orange is still in the game, including Hao, who I also include as an orange.
He's original orange, yeah.
Well, he was on Exile, but
he went to orange.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's the pagonging of pagongings.
Yeah, we're not here for a pagonging, but that's all right. At least
I don't think if Jeff came back, he could have done anything more than Kath could have done.
No, they would have needed like a Sammy to come back in or James. Not even James.
Steven, maybe.
Yeah. Steven or Sammy.
Yeah.
And Kath goes straight to Exile. What do you think of that?
Well, it's good because they're giving her an idol.
Yes, I like there's a mechanism to give her an idol, but it's a bit harsh when you just get back in and you're away again.
Nah, because they're doing the auction and whatever. There's plenty of time to chill. I doubt she was at Exile for very long. It was there to go get the advantage.
Yeah.
And we do the auction.
And she gets told that there's the bowl of rice and there's an idol at the bottom, but she has to get it before the auction ends.
I liked it.
I like that. I like that it's, you can't just sit there and take the whole bowl of rice back to camp. You got to get that out.
I enjoyed that. I like Ben bids on something. He goes to Exile and gets nothing, but
I've got everything written down how much they bid. Yeah, he goes. Ben goes straight to Exile. Hal gets a chocolate bar. Jake gets cheese and crackers and like a little mini bottle of wine. The bowl of rice comes off, and Kath bids 500 right away. Once again, the theme of my notes, why?
Yeah, you're making it pretty obvious.
Could have been 50 and been fine with that.
Yeah, I guess.
No one would have taken.
Yeah. I think, look, I'd probably do it. Fuck it. I'd say, it's fucking idle. I'm not risking it.
I would have gone 50, and if anyone upbid me, I would have gone 500.
What if they say 500? You're fucked.
Who's going to go 500 for a bowl of rice?
What if Andrew's clocked this? He's smart.
I don't know. I think calculated risk.
I think it's not worth it. Just go to $500.
Okay. So anyway, and then we see her slowly make. I like how
one of Kyle or Brian. I'm sure it's one of them says, "Girl likes her rice," and that's the episode title. You can't keep the host.
I didn't hear who said it. I thought it was someone else.
I could be wrong, but I felt it was Kyle or Brian.
I didn't pay attention enough.
Well, we'll have to check in with them on that, but I don't think the host can give themselves the episode title.
No, they can't. I do like that when she was eating it, we see her, like, if that was me, this is where my bull in a china shop would have come out. I would have dumped that shit out and been like, no, idol. Instead, she sits there and she's slowly eating it, and she's eating it from the side, so it's very easy for her to pull it out. So she does well.
They give her another benefit with the 60-second cake eating.
Yeah, see, that was my thing because I've got written in my notes that, she had to get it before the auction ended. I would have been paranoid because there was a lot of items at this auction. There was more than one per person. So I would have been nervous of like, what, this auction's going to end. So I would have been like, rice on the ground, give me my idol.
But they did that cake thing so that she'd have time to sort of sneak
so then
it out.
Raph gets a cheese and salad roll. Liv bids $500 for nachos. She gets to share with someone. She chooses Zach. Again, why Zach? Why not take the opportunity to build a relationship with someone who's in that orange group Zach has already said he's got an upset stomach. No good. Samara goes for a covered item, which is a tiny little bottle of water. Zach gets a covered item and he gets to have that or the second item. He sticks to his first one and gets some pasta. Hal bids on the other option and gets crickets. Jake gets pizza. He can either have the pizza to himself or give one piece to everyone, and he doesn't get any. And he's like, yep, I'll give it away. And they're all like, no, you have it. It's fine. Like,
He's been wanting pizza all day. That's fine. That's the right thing to do.
There's an advantage in the game. Andrew immediately goes to 500.
He was saving all his money for that moment. Absolutely.
Yep. And then there's cake. Samara gets it, and she gets 60 seconds. Kath doesn't go for that, and just because everyone's going for the thing, she's just like, whoop, straight in the hoodie.
Well, Jake doesn't either. He's seeing his pizza. I wouldn't eat it either. I hate cake. So like, but it's enough of a chance for her to get the idol, which was set up for that. I liked all of that. And then Kath tells Zach she wants Ben to go, and I'm like, surely Zach's going to report that, but we'll see that. And then they're doing the ball challenge. I'm like, did Kath throw her ball at the dog?
I hope not. But anyway, you missed a couple of things. Andrew's advantage is a vote steal. We saw that, yep. And then Ben at Exile got everything that everyone else got except for the idol, but including the vote steal.
Yeah.
What do we think of that?
I think it's fun, but there's too many fucking advantages in the game, but sure.
Yeah, 2 vote steals is a lot.
At this point,
I was in an org where they had 2 vote steals and the 2 people just stole each other's vote.
Yeah, that's fun. At the final 10 here, there are 4 idols. Jake has 2. Hal has 1. Samara has 1. They're all in one alliance together. Kath has an idol. And there's 2 sealer votes. It's a lot of advantages.
So there's 5 idols in the game.
Yes, it's 5. Sorry.
5 idols for 10 people. Jeez.
Yeah. Unfortunately, 4 of them are all in one alliance of 3 people.
I love it.
And they're really the power of the whole thing. Because Andrew thinks he's in with them. Zach's trying to be in with them. None of them are that threatening that you're like, oh, I got to get him out.
Hal should have been, but no.
Yeah, I think Hal downplayed himself very well throughout the game. He was worried. He's like, why are people taking me out? So I'm like, because I think you're like playing this well. And you're leaving people like Andrew in, who's always going to be copying heat more than you. And Zach, like, Zach get to the end, he'll get all the votes. So like, they kept having someone like Andrew and Zach around is good for someone like Hal. He's never going to cop votes for those people there. His only issue if those people were gone and it was like, Rafe and Caitlin and stuff. Still, I think he probably beats them.
So we've got Zach and Lever like, we need to present as a united front. What do we think of this? Are they better off acting like they're not together, acting like lone wolves, or are they better off presenting as a duo?
Probably the duo, in the hope that there's a small group of Orange that want to make a move. I think individually at 10 people, one person's vote may not be enough for a flip move. Like if, the move really, like Rafe and Caitlin should really be teaming up with Kath and Liv and Zach, but that's still only 5-5. Like,
yeah, you'd need another one. You're not going to get it.
It's a tough group to put together in the first place.
A group of 3, and you've got Ben who thinks he's their 4th, and you've got Andrew who thinks he's their 4th.
Yeah. And both of them are I think Ben thinks he's higher than 4th. I think because I think earlier on he was quite close with Samara, and I think she's moved away from him a bit, but he hasn't realized it. And Andrew thinks he can talk his way into anything.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really care if he's 4th. He'll work it out. He'll sort this shit out. He'll be fine. Andrew also probably realizes that he's fucked. Like, he's not going to get to the end.
Oh, he thinks he is.
I don't look. He's not as self-aware as I'm projecting. But when you're as confident as that, you sort of think that like everyone's going to see how good you are because you know how good you are. So surely they're going to vote you out. Like, you can try and sell yourself down, and you got to throw something out there. But fuck, like, people aren't morons.
Yeah. Not fair.
But
anyway, we go to the challenge. We got the balancing the ball on the stick.
They were like snooker balls. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Jake
we
wins.
see Hal is like the whole time like all over the place, and then Jake's just there like, oh yeah, this is fun.
Jake could have gone for ages on that. He wins easy. And then Hal once again is trying to offload the fake idols.
And he can't do it. Do you know, actually, I just thought, as you said, like he's still trying to offload it. This would have been a cool twist. This is completely unrelated, but he's got a fake idol, but you have to give it to someone else by this point, get them to accept it. Otherwise, there's a penalty. Otherwise, you lose your vote or something. That would have been fun.
Yeah. Wouldn't have mattered. But
yeah,
yes.
Hal goes up to Kath and is like, I've heard your name. I've got a couple of idols, is what he says.
Well, I think that's important. No, I think that's important. It's a bit of an oversell, but why are you giving me your fucking idol?
Yeah, so I've got 2. Yeah. My Kath's like, don't worry, I've got one too.
Why,
Kath?
And he's like, interesting.
I would have been like, oh, great. Here, I'll take your idol. Like, she doesn't know it's fake. And then, hey, now she's safe for this round and then safe for the next round.
The thing about how handing off the idol, you might have a couple. I guess, wouldn't you rather play it for me? But I guess it's very big thing to do, particularly if it saves her, it puts a huge target on your back. Why are you doing that? But also,
they're like, oh, we don't have that many numbers, but it's all right. We don't need them because I'll give you the idol.
Yeah, he's also betraying the alliance, but she just play it. Yeah, look, it makes more sense for him to give it to her. But she's like, I've got one. No, why don't you just take it and have 2, Kath?
Yeah, exactly. Save yourself for 2 rounds. Great.
Just take his fucking idol.
Mm-hmm.
No one's taking idols in this game. It's this constant behavior of like, anyway. So he's like,
Andrew's going to use his steal a vote so they can split between Kath and Liv.
It seemed like a completely pointless number machination that he wanted to. I think he was just getting the economist in him was just getting too like, oh, look at these numbers I can crunch, and then like he's also wanting to offload the advantage. I think he wants to get the advantage.
He wants to get rid of it. Yeah, I agree. I think when you've got a public advantage, you might want to get rid of that.
It's strange though that he waited the whole auction and bid $500 on it immediately to get it.
Yeah.
Maybe he was hoping it would be an idol or something, but it's a fucking steal a vote, so let's just get rid of this fucking thing.
I think it was also he maybe wanted to make sure that he obviously wasn't tracking how much other people were spending because he was the only one with that amount of money, so he could have bid a lot less. I think
why? It's not actual money.
But then you might be able to get something later.
The advantage is always last.
Fair. But I think also you'd more just want to make sure that Zach and Liv don't get it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Anyway, so Kath plays her idol. She has 5 votes. They're nullified. Liv has 4. Ben has 1. And so Liv goes here and Zach's the last purple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the 1 vote for Ben is from Kath, and then because she was trying to get Liv and Zach to vote with her, and they ended up just voting for Kath. Only Zach does. Liv doesn't because she does the vote stolen.
Andrew's vote stole actually makes sense here because there is the potential. If only got 4 on Liv, it would have been 3 on Liv, so they could have had 3 on Ben.
Yeah. So
it actually makes sense what Andrew does here.
Yeah.
Because it could have been a 5. It's because the split. This is why Andrew's pissed off. Because the split is supposed to be 4.
Yeah, so let's go into that because Andrew's upset that the numbers weren't split properly.
I was going to say, were. Andrew had Liv vote herself off in a tribute to Stephen Fishback.
Yes, I like that.
Anyway.
Okay, that. But yeah, he's upset because it should have been 4-4, whatever. But I think because he's confused that he thought it was 5-3-1. But one of the Liv votes wasn't read out because they didn't need to. And then I think he's forgetting that Zach voted for Kath because he's saying these numbers, they weren't split properly. Someone didn't follow the plan. No, everyone did follow the plan. He just didn't expect Zach to be a part of it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Kath, and they're like, "Why'd you vote for Ben?" And Kath's like, "Oh no, random."
It's like, why me?
Just a random. What would you
Because I
say?
hate you.
What would you say? Because you're running this tribe, Ben. Because you're killing this game. You're a huge target. You're a huge threat. How can everyone not see that? Like, isn't that what you should be saying?
I agree.
Don't back away from it. Call these people out.
Lean into it. Because I want you out.
Like, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm running this game." Well, in confessional, it'd be it'd be given a confessional about that.
Me. I'm not running this game. I'm not a threat.
And then the confessional, I am definitely running this game. I'm killing it. I'm in control of everything. Yeah. Unfortunately, your alliance is not your number 4. And then this is where Andrew starts talking about, because he's like, who voted wrong, even though you said no one did vote wrong. And this is where he tells about his code and the numbers. Yeah. This challenge with all those knots they've got to untie. And I'm like, who had to tie all these knots? There's 21 of them on each of the ropes.
Someone on front is calling Jake Luke.
Yeah.
What?
I'm like, no, how's the Luke? What are they doing?
Jake Luke.
They are, but how's Luke?
How's Luke? So we get Jake, Kat, Zach, Hal, Raph, all go through the next stage.
Yeah, and then who tied all those knots? Fuck, that sucked. Hal wins immunity. He has to bring 2 people on reward. He brings Ben.
Oh my god!
You don't think he should have brought Ben and Jake?
No! Don't bring your alliance.
Is this going to annoy Samara? She seems fine with it.
No, I'm not. I don't bring. I probably would have brought Ben, but Ben and Raph. Someone on the bottom that you need to make sure feels safe in your alliance. You
know what I wouldn't have done? Sent Zach, Cap, and Kat to fucking Exile.
Oh my god, why? That is sending a nice big message to Caitlin that you are on the bottom. I'm happy for you to go to Exile. She did not take it that way. She took it as, he trusts me to babysit these 2 here at Exile. But
trust you? You've barely been together the whole game. It's not like Andrew sent you. If Andrew sent her, I would, accept that.
I would have. You want to keep Zach and Kath separate, so I would have sent one of them to Exile.
Don't send them to where the advantages are.
No.
Camp.
No. This is Hal's only flaw in his game is his choices for Exile.
Yeah.
But there's nothing at Exile. Just sucks to be you.
And there's something the camp has worked for a weird note about preparation or something.
It's basically because they're not going to get back together before Tribal. They're going to have 3 at Exile, 3 on reward, 3 at camp, and then boom, you get back together. But as Andrew explains, this is why you need to be previously prepared. We'd had the next vote all planned out already.
Welcome to Efficiency. Is the episode title. Yeah, look, I get what they're trying to do. This is another one of these situations. So production had this big idea.
They did it in the season of South Africa, and it actually worked.
But even if you didn't plan for this, even if you didn't talk about the vote, of course they were voting for fucking Kat.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that it worked is that they got a vote split done.
And then,
you've had time to put a split together.
Yeah, Andrew says to Samara that Ben can't be trusted, so he's trying to sort of get himself weaseling into that X spot, and that Jake and House did the same thing. I thought it was very aggressive. Kath is all like to Zach, why didn't you vote with me? I'm like, why should he have? Just to piss off Ben? Right.
What is the point of throwing another vote into the minority?
Yeah. And then it's got Kath goes 5, Zach 3, Ben 1. We didn't really talk about Liv before when she went. She was nice.
Yeah. She's not overly memorable, but
Kath, look, this is the second time we viewed Kath on this podcast. We saw her play.
We didn't really get to see her first.
Well, we reconstructed it to some extent in Melbourne 1. And what was potentially a very nothing game turned into quite a memorable arc for the 2 episodes from the merge. An incredible performance in the battle back.
Yeah.
played the idol. A bit silly with what she did with Hal, but you know, I'm sure
But
she's
no,
proud
I
of.
think overall we like Kath here on the podcast, and yeah, I think she did as well as she could have. She did comment early in like the second episode where she threw out Andrew's name, or it might have been the first episode. She was like, "I'm just someone that I like to make decisions and go with it, and that could do well for me or it could get me voted out." So she's aware.
I've said, I might have said in this podcast before, Kath's a fantastic person. In playing with fire, in playing with fire, she was doing sound, but in Uncharted Waters, she spent the entire 3 days in the kitchen cooking food for the crew, cooking other food for various things. Dylan was also helping her, but that's it's not a thankless task because everyone is obviously very appreciative of what they're doing, and it's probably the most thanked task in terms of the people saying thank you all the time because they're making you food, but it's not a fun task. No one wants to come and organize a amateur survival.
You're not watching the gameplay.
Fucking making people food. That's what legend she is, that she does that sort of thing. So Kat's great. Twist, we're going straight into the challenge and then a vote. And I'm like, well, that fucks Zach.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but I know.
Well, that's fucked.
Survivor trivia.
If I was on this, if this was the level of questions that was going to keep coming, this game would have finished at 24 hours later.
If you and I were there, I'd be like, okay, can you give us a hard question yet?
I think I'll be like, you need to start taking off the multiple choice.
Yeah.
How did they even get through 5 questions?
I don't know.
I reckon Andrew was locked in. I reckon he'd be with us to sunrise answering questions.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I thought Zach was meant to be a super fan, but he didn't know that Palau was a season that people were gone before they even split tribes.
He got confused. It was the choices were Palau and Panama, I think, and he said the wrong one.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he knew which one it was. He just said the wrong word.
That's hard.
Andrew wins, and then before they even get to the vote, Zach's like, "Peace out, bitches." Any final words? That was a good moment.
No, I was very excited when it was a 4-4 tie. I was like, my notes literally say OMG because I did not see that coming.
How did that get sorted out? How did that happen?
I don't know. They had it sorted. And then, so on the revote, it's 5-1 because, Jake, Samara both go, all right. Hal is the only one that doesn't change his vote.
Andrew had been buttering up a Ben boot for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He'd been trying to sell to everyone on the original Blood Orange that Ben was untrustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously had Caitlin in on it, and he had Rafe in on it. So he had his crew from the Swap tribe queued up to do it.
He'd already kind of had a chat to Zach.
Mm.
So
he'd been planning this.
He's multiple steps ahead. He was ready to go.
Now on the flip, he'd put that work into Jake. He'd put that work into Samara, not to get them to do it the first time, but when rocks are threatened, they're like, fuck it, and they both just chuck the vote the other way. We're not going to rocks for Ben. Really exciting. I thought this was going to be just a fucking dead rubber, and there goes Zach. But again, Andrew sort of came in to save the day and make it an interesting vote, at least for this one. Yeah.
Well done, Andrew.
This was Andrew's opportunity, though, to take over the game.
Yes. We'll get to that.
Which he doesn't quite do.
So we have the challenges. I've called it musical bucket items.
Yeah, this was good. I've written here.
We had one person eliminated each round. Raph wins immunity.
Yeah. Who wins? Raph. Yeah. I'm putting Raph for. I just deal with it. I've been doing it for
Because you've obviously got an E on the end of it in your notes. I think that's why you're saying it.
No, I don't know. I've just known people that I've known that were Raphael that shortened to Raph said Rafe.
Okay.
Sorry. There's some of the Aussie ones go by Rafa. Anyway. I'm like, Zach's locked in with Andrew's core. But the problem is the other 3 have all the
Yes.
Like,
And we see Andrew go up to Samara and propose a final 3 with him. And her answer is, I don't know. Always say yes. Someone comes to you and says, I want to go to the end with you. Yes.
That's not her style.
Always.
And now Andrew is randomly getting bothered by Rafe again. Like, gotta get rid of him. Like, I'm like, he's voted with you all the time. He just did your move with Zach. Like, get over the fucking rocks.
One more vote with Zach. Get out one of that group. Blindside them because they've got all the idols, and then you would have been good.
I think it's not viable. They have the super idol.
They don't know that they've got the super idol yet.
Look, this is probably true. They might be able to get super. I don't know. Look, yeah, he just gets this weird fucking. He's got this weird problem. This is Andrew's major failure of the game with Rafe because of what happened on the rock thing. Even though Rafe has continued to be loyal the entire game, and I stand by that they fucked Rafe on that. And notwithstanding that, he's stuck by them. Stop freaking out about Rafe. He's with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Rafe's pretty excited because he hasn't got any votes the whole game.
And this good point. It's midnight at the final 6, and it was like 9 p.m. No, it was like 10 p.m. at final 9. Like this is where I was like, oh, this is going a long time.
Yeah. So we're already here, and then I go like, sorry, Andrew was trying to set up a Rafe boot on this one, which he shouldn't be doing, but then Rafe wins immunity, and now he's like, oh, I'm just going to set up. So he's like, he's got to try and do that final 3 that you mentioned, but that's not working. He's got a final 4. And I'm like, no one's going to go to the final 3 with Andrew. Like, surely.
He needed to win out, and he wasn't going to do that.
Caitlin would have. I think she sticks with him.
Caitlin's the only one, yes. And maybe Zach, because Zach just wants to get there.
Zach versus Andrew would have been actually quite interesting.
I think Andrew's best bet probably was to keep Raph and Caitlin and Zach, take out the other 3, have that as a 4, and then try and take Zach out at 4.
Yeah.
Then Andrew wins it hands down.
Yeah. He just has this distrust for Rafe, which is causing the problems.
Yeah.
And he thinks he's closer with the other group, the final 3, and he's not. This one's quite good, the Tribal Council, because someone finally hits back at Andrew's analogies about shooting blanks.
Before that, I'm gone. I've scrolled too far. I'm the next one. You keep going.
Because Andrew's like, we're storming the castle, the balustrades are out, we're firing the trebuchets. I don't know if that's what he's saying, something like that. And Zach's like, I'm not a castle. I'm like one fucking dude from Turkey that you've annihilated. How am I the castle?
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Andrew's like, you would win this easily. Look at the jury over there. They're all your friends.
Your impersonation is spot on.
We have decimated them. Decimated. So there's like a tinge of South African in the way he talks. I don't know if he's got that background.
It's decimated. Like the emphasis on service. We have decimated the other tribe. It would be illogical for us to continue to work with you. Illogical
is a perfect word. He would use that word. As I said, this guy should be an actual survivor. Like,
he was my favorite.
Like, honestly,
like spoiler alert, my Orca vote. That's where it's going.
He could, Jeff gets a vote, I'd say, somewhere. But Andrew's been amazing, and he would be great on confessional. His confessionals are incredible. So, anyway, Zach goes 6-1. Votes for Jake.
Yeah.
Into the final ep. It's a good recap. I like the recap.
Yeah.
It's good. And, the orange, they're the final 6. That's what Andrew called it at the start. So we're going to decimate them.
Decimate them.
And then I'm like, why is Rafe still wearing the necklace? I don't know. I don't know what I mean by that. I think he's still wearing it. Like, you don't have it after the tribal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, after tribal, you don't have the necklace anymore. People crew aren't probably thinking about this at this time. Andrew's targeting Jake, and Rafe doesn't think that Jake's the biggest threat, which I get. And Jake wants to take out Rafe.
Jake is only a threat that he could possibly win immunity and get
Yeah.
his way to the end that way. But you don't think he's going to win? Who cares?
And then what about Caitlin? Race worried about her, but Andrew's like, nah, not gonna vote for her. And then Hal says it's between Caitlin and Rafe, and I'm like, Andrew has actually positioned himself incredibly here because they're not looking at him at the final 6. They took him at the final 5, but they're not looking. I guess with all their idols, they're like, we don't give a shit. Like,
we can do what we want.
They're protected.
But they still don't know that they've got it. Everyone only knows about their own idol, and they all know about one of Jake's.
Correct.
So it's just so funny that they're so cocky. They don't realize how cocky they deserve to be.
Well, I think they assume that Jake's going to win most of the immunities as well, so they've always got that. Like, and then Hal's generally there with him, like at the end on some of these. So you get this challenge, like a number block thing. We talked about this before the show. You thought that they should have done better at it.
I agree with you. I didn't do it in Roman numerals, but I was like, that can't be that hard. So I just got my whiteboard out, wrote down numbers 1 to 9. I had it done in about 60 seconds.
I say number 1, you don't have the whiteboard. Number 2, they've been playing for
because
19
I didn't have 9 little tiles in front of me.
Yeah, they've been playing for 19 hours or something.
Okay.
And
sorry, it would have taken me about 2 minutes then.
And you have to compute. It's easy to see the pattern with normal numbers. I can read Roman numerals, but like you got to see the pattern in Roman numerals. That's a different skill. Still, I would have put money on the Economist to beat Samara.
Oh yeah, well,
I don't know what
Samara does. It would be illogical for me to try and win immunity and heighten my own threat level. Sorry, I'm just having fun saying illogical now. Anyway,
I think Andrew would have been embarrassed that he didn't win this.
He would have been, yeah.
Good on Samara though, amazing victory.
And then she also doesn't realize that her idol lasts the next round. She is there going, my idol has to use this round. And then Rosie from season 1 is on the crew and is like,
Rosie the legend is like, nah, you got it for another.
You got another round. She's like, so I'm safe next round. Well, if you want to use it for yourself, yeah.
Oh.
And then something that baffles me, we get to tribal. Jake has 2 idols, 2 opportunities to play them, and chooses not to. All right, James.
So Jake rolls. I've got to hear, I'm like, now that Samara's won, Andrew's back to targeting Jake, and Rafe wants to do it. I'm like, why are they just talking about Jake? Like, it's not at this point about who you want out. It's about who you want at the end. Just work out your 3 and work to that. That's what Jake, Hal, and Samara have done. That's their 3, and that's what they work. So it doesn't really matter who they take out.
Yeah, we've basically got the 3 from one swap tribe, 3 from the other swap tribe. So the smart move would be to everyone stick with your swap tribe, but Andrew's like, nah.
And then Samara gets pulled over to the other 3, and she's like, I don't know. And now Rafe is targeting Jake in front of Samara. So now they know who to play their like billion idols on. Why is there not enough idol paranoia at this point of the game? Like,
I'm so confused by that. Is it that we've seen we saw one idol get played at this point?
Zach played 1.
Is that the only one we've seen? You'd think there'd be at least 2, if not 3, in the game.
Oh, and Kath played 1.
Oh, and Kath. Okay, so maybe they think there's only 2 idols and their idols are done. But when there's Exile Island every round, I'd be worried about that.
Why did that purple idol get put back in? I guess that was replacing Zach's idol.
Yes, that was replacing Zach's one.
Yeah.
So that was another thing. And inside the urn, a little after show thing, they talked about how when an idol is played or someone goes out with it, the idol goes back to where it originates from. So Liz going out with hers, she found hers at Exile, it went back to Exile. Jake got his in a challenge, so basically at camp. Not Jake, Zach. So his one goes back to that camp.
Yeah. I don't think they really need to put that one back in. I guess I'm probably hoping Zach would.
If you're going to put it back in, I would have thought it made more sense to put it back on the Orange Tribe.
Yeah. No idols get played. What the fuck? I've said. Rafe goes 4-2. I'm like, obviously Andrew's happy to be number 4. And then like Andrew's still going on about the fucking rocks. I'm like, Jesus, Andrew, I'd like you to see you in Rafe's shoes in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's still going on about it. You know, like, we've eliminated Rafe because he couldn't be trusted when he refused, when he tried to throw out poor Caitlin's name, or Cat, as she likes to be called, name. And we voted Stephen out of the game. Even though Rafe has voted with me every single time.
He was so scared. Now I'm putting the South African accent on. Even though I don't think it's there. He was just too afraid to go to rock, so he threw out Caitlin's name.
It's illogical.
It's illogical.
I don't know if this has been the approach I wanted to do, because I said I'm trying to get Andrew onto the tea party and he's not really committing. And he did express that he wasn't particularly happy with the coverage that was done of Backyard Survivor back in the day, by whoever was doing it back then. And I promised that this was a better show and of higher journalistic integrity, and just better content. And I think it is a high standard, but equally I don't know how he's going to feel about the impressions.
But it's because we like him.
We do love you. We love you,
I am not going to be doing an impersonation of anyone I don't like, because that's just mean.
He's also so good that he can do impressions of him. Because
of the way he speaks and his, like I said, his $10 words, you can impersonate him.
He's amazing.
I just don't have a big enough vocabulary to do it properly.
This is only love, Andrew. If you're still with us 2 hours and 21 minutes into this, it is only love. No, I still don't get the Rafe thing, but whatever. We love you.
Yeah. Anyway, we go to the next challenge. They're doing
No, you missed the bit where Jake can't remember Samara's name despite he's been aligned with her the whole game.
He's been with her the whole time. What's her name again? And what's the name he comes up with? I didn't write it down. It's like something ridiculous.
Taisha
or something.
Tanisha? Who's Tanisha? Oh, there isn't a Tanisha. There's no Tanisha.
That was funny. All right, there we get the challenge. They're balancing the little stick things, and you got to hold them. And Jake wins immunity. Good job.
Caitlin's very close, though.
Yes, very close.
Samara tells Caitlin's going to be Andrew. She respects that, but she can't vote for him because of how close everything they've been through together.
Andrew wants to vote for Samara and pitching to Hal, and then Jake. They're the three amigos.
He's like, no one's going to vote for me. He's like, no one will vote for Andrew.
They will all vote for Andrew.
He's like, no one likes me. I'm like a hate goat. Well, he doesn't. That's my word for it, the hate goat.
Yeah.
Like, this gonna fly.
He would win.
Yeah. I think he wins all the votes. He's like, they're gonna vote for, and like Caitlin's not gonna. He's like, we're gonna do Samara because he's trying to protect Caitlin. He's like, we're gonna do Samara because Caitlin won't win the challenge. I'm like, dude, she was like right there on like the last two.
Yeah.
Anyway, and now they're eating chips. I'm like, why have they been like hot chips, not just fucking crisps? And why have they been given chips? Fuck this nonsense.
There's too much food.
Starve
them. It's Survivor.
Yeah. Fuck this. Why are they getting chips? You can quit the game if they want chips. Anyway. And then final
we go
one.
Tribal, and we see while they're doing the questions and everything, Jake goes to hand an idol to Samara, and she's like, "Oh, it's fine, I've got one." And then so she tries to give it to Hal. He's like, "No, I've got one too."
And then they look at each other like, "What?
Look at us!"
It was a fantastic moment.
I loved that.
The whole time you're like, "Why are you guys not sharing your idols? You guys are so tight." And then the three of them, it's like, "How many idols do we have?"
Of their 4 idols that they had in their alliance, only 2 of them even get played.
It was so good. And then Andrew has some sort of who do you trust thing is his final spiel. I don't know what he's going for. I'm like, why wouldn't Jake and Howard trust Samara? And then Andrew says he thinks the numbers are cooked. I'm like, no shit. Why don't you keep Raph? Anyway, and then Howard tries. And then Howard plays his fake idol for some reason.
I think he just wanted to do it in front of the jury so they could be like, "Hey, I got a fake idol." And
it's like, a fake idol.
Play a real idol, and Samara plays. Everyone gets an idol except for Andrew.
I think it was a mistake for Jake not to stand up and saying, I've also got 2 idols, but I don't need to play either of them.
He should have done a Caitlyn and played the idol on himself.
Yeah, that didn't go down well.
I didn't enjoy that either, but
we didn't enjoy it at the thing. Look, obviously at Final Tribal Council, he can bring up the idols, and he sort of does. But I feel like it'd be better to do it here. Everyone's breaking out the hardware. You don't have to play him. Just so everyone's aware. I have 2 of these things, because it's just got a bit more impact. Because then the jury's thinking about that in between now and then. You don't want them just thinking about it later. Exactly. Andrew goes 3-2. Yeah, goodbye. You were great. You're a legend. You really put this season on your back.
That if I'm ranking everyone that was on this cast and putting them best to worst, Andrew's up here, and the next best person is there's a gap. He was the star of this show. I enjoyed him.
I would say this is the 4th season we've covered. That's going to be near close to 70-something people. He's the best character of all 4 seasons.
Ooh. Okay. We've covered Calvin once.
Calvin's better in
he is better Melbourne. In Backyard and Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of someone that tops him. So, all right, I'll give you that.
And there's no one.
Rosie.
I'm
a Rosie fan.
I love Rosie, but there's no one as good at the confessional as him.
There's no one like him at all. He's very unique person.
I think until you get to Annabelle's confessionals, no one is as good as he is.
No.
Annabelle's confessionals are pretty amazing as well. And it's just the way they talk. It's like they're just so comfortable on television. It's all so eloquent and clear and thought out. And just what is this? It's so unique and interesting.
Yeah.
So I think he may be one of the most interesting players. And I do believe that the backstory is that he played this, and he's a good friend of Dan from Canberra. He's from Canberra. And then he said to Dan, you should watch this. And Dan watched this season and was like, cool, I'm going to my own Survivor.
There we go. Started something beautiful.
I think he has helped out a bit with some of the cameras, I believe. I think you could actually see him running around and crewing on the Canberra season we just covered.
I wouldn't have known who he was, though. But, that's cool.
Yeah. So Jake wins.
The final four, we have the dominoes.
And that's when they revealed the Super Idol, and they're like, or maybe there were 4 parts of the Super Idol. No, that's just the 2 parts that you fucking had, the whole thing. Just anyway, Howe feels really good about his game, but just needs to get there. Jake wins immunity for 4th. I thought it was 4th. Third. And I'm like, Jake and Samara should really take out Howe here, but I don't think it's super obvious because everyone's been building up Caitlyn as everyone loves her, and it's just not in their nature.
I think they've been downplaying Howe. Howe's been downplaying himself.
Yeah, some people were building up Caitlyn. They were downplaying Howe, and I just don't think it's in Jake and Samara's nature to burn him.
No, I think they were just loyal to him, and good for them.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of loyalty.
Look, you're not playing for,
exactly
$500,000. You can have some scruples if you want. That's the sort of people they are. And it's good for them. Caitlyn goes 3-1. So we've got a Howe, Sam, Jake, final 3. And Howe kicks up his final tribal council saying his name was never written down. It's a pretty strong start.
Okay, I don't know how I feel about that as a strong argument because for me, I mean, it is a good thing to say my name was never written down, but it's also, well, my name was written down because I was a threat and people were targeting me, but I never went because I always had the numbers. Like,
I think for someone like Hal, like, I think if Rafe got there and said my name was never written down, people would be like, yeah, because whatever. You didn't threaten anyone.
you're a goat.
Yeah. I don't think anyone sees Hal that way.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
He's certainly seen as the stronger game of the three. Jake's got votes. Samara's got votes. Like, when people were throwing random votes out, in the end of the day, a lot of these votes for Jake or Samara were random votes because I'm getting voted out 6-1. I've got to vote for fucking someone.
Mm-hmm.
And they were never picking Hal. And I think that just showed the strength of his social game.
Yes.
Which is the real crux of his game.
Mm-hmm.
How likable it was, very Luke Toki-like. He had strategy. Yeah. He didn't need to strategize that much, but he had strategy. But it was the likability of him.
Mm. I will say, if we're going to talk about final tribals, Jake did a terrible, terrible job. He says in his opening statement that he literally starts by saying, nothing really puts me above the other two. Like, that's literally what you're trying to do. You are trying to put yourself above the other two.
In Jake's defense, I doubt he's ever watched the final tribal classic before. And he's a footy guy. And in the footy team, you don't go, well, I was the star and I kicked 10 goals and that's why we won. Like,
this is true.
He's probably used to that team mentality.
He's got to try and be a bit humble,
He saw the three of them as a team.
Yeah, that's fair.
We've lost our viewer. There was a viewer that stuck with us the whole time.
Well, I mean, it's midnight.
We're not in Perth. But I'm sure
that's why we started late.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt we had a lot of people watching when we did the backyard one.
We did.
I guess this.
Anyway,
people watch it on the people watch the replay. People listen to it on the podcast. It's not all about the live viewers.
This is true. Anyway, Samara, I think, does a really good job, especially in her opening statement. She talked about she wanted to prove herself in challenges, but then held back because threats started going. She said she played well socially. She kept her cards close to the chest, which I like. Like, she didn't tell anyone about her idol. That's evident in that. Yeah, look, I haven't got a lot of notes for Final Tribal. I sort of talked about Hal did an okay job at opening statement. Jake did a terrible job. Samara did a great job. And then the jury is basically just saying Hal is going to win.
I've got a bit. Like, Stephen wants to know what they did. Stephen said Hal had luck. Hal's like only, had one idol. He said
luck is always going to be a factor, though.
Yeah, and he said I think he acknowledged that, but he also played his luck well. He said his good moves.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. If luck gets brought up at Final Tribal, you talk about, okay, yes, I had good luck, but I made the most of that luck by doing this, this, and this. And then I also had bad luck, and I minimized that by doing this, this, and this.
How asked for what were their moves, and Hal mentions getting Jeff out, but also the move on Kath with the fake idol. It's actually a pretty good one to raise. Then Jake says his best moves were voting out Kath twice, but also Ben where they switched. And then Samara said also because I switched. And then James is like, but was that your actual plan, or did you just switch to avoid rocks? And they're like, yeah, I just switched to avoid rocks. And that's not a fucking move. That was Andrew's move.
It's like when people talk about trying to claim at Final Four voting out the biggest threat in the game. It's like, it's Final Four. Of course you're going to vote out the biggest threat. Like, that's not, I wouldn't ever claim that.
Yeah. And then Ben's like, what? So you guys burned me, but Hal didn't? Sweet. And then Hal knows how to play this jury, because he says to Jeff that he was the biggest threat in the game.
Ego-stroking Jeff.
Yes, I was. I am amazing. Like, you know what I mean? That's how you get Jeff's vote. Just lock it down. Jeff, you were just so intimidating. If you got here, you would have just...
We had to get rid of you before we got rid of you.
He's like, yeah. That's all I got to say to him. Zach asked what the biggest regret was. Hal said not taking Andrew to the end so he could actually have some competition or beat the best. Again, it's another pump up for Andrew.
Yeah.
He's being very sycophantic to the jury, but he's doing a very good job of it. And then Jake and Sam talk about, they stuffed up some challenges as their biggest regrets. And then Liz says Maybe it was bringing Hal.
Liz with the bird. Like, I loved that.
And then Jeff's like, yeah, that's right. Jake, your game was good, but you also shouldn't have brought Hal. And then Sammy, we'll come back to Sammy. Andrew asked what differentiates the three of them. Hal says
your game from each other.
Hal's like, I lied a bit, like I was actually a bit deceptive and had some strategy in that. Jake says, I won immunities. Sam said, he says she's reserved and close to her chest. I'm like, and Jeff wants the dirty laundry. Why don't the others deserve to win? Sam says Jake hasn't been strategic, which Jake's like, yeah.
See, again, that's not reading the room. For both of you, need to say why Hal doesn't deserve to win.
Yeah, and then Sam says Hal hasn't been good at the challenges. I'm like, this is nonsense.
I mean, he was good at the challenges. He has, but also, who cares?
Yeah. And Jake says they all deserve it. And then Hal, I think, gives the best answer for his style, which is to not be too deprecating on this. He's like, I just played a better game than them. I was better.
Yeah, I like that. I like when people are like, I'm not going to tear down my opponents here. I'm just going to pump myself up.
I was better. I was. And then Rafe asked what they're doing with the dollars. I'm like, boy, I don't care about that. Yes. But Sammy asked for a fuck, shoot, marry for each of the three to say about the jury. And I don't know if... So Kyle or Brian says something about, we're not doing that. We're not going to show that or something. I don't know why. I think it's a legitimate question. I don't know why this wasn't either allowed or aired. I'm interested.
What's our TV rating on this show? Do we have is it a PG show? Is that why we can't do it?
I don't know. Anyway, so it could be too mean, but we're going to do it. We're going to do, to finish this off, why don't we just, before we finish, we'll do that in a moment. We'll just close it out. Do the votes. Hal gets all the votes. I was calling a 2 for Samara, 1 for Jake.
I thought Samara might get second place and not equal third, but yeah, I think I was very happy for Hal to get every vote except for 2.
I didn't know who did vote for Jake. Zach randomly.
Zach voted for Jake. Sammy voted for Samara.
Yeah, I just, without even thinking about the numbers and who might vote for who, I felt someone's going to vote for Jake. Someone's going to be into his style. And I thought Samara's Final Trump Council was very good, and I thought it probably earned her a vote or 2. I think going in, she probably didn't have votes, but she was a very strong performer there, and I saw much she won or 2. But yeah, so we both sort of had the equal prediction there. Hal's a great winner.
I think Hal is a very good winner. Yeah, I agree.
Look, and I'm glad he won because, if I'm going to do a hour and a half, 2-hour deep dive with someone about their winning game, it would have been difficult with maybe Jake or Samara, but with Hal,
I think that's going to be a good interview.
Yeah, I think he had a really fantastic, interesting, subtle game full of his social ability. Great. Look, and I think he's going to be I think he's just a really likable person. He definitely Luke Toki vibes. I think it's really interesting, and it's a good winner, I guess. But before we go into that, I think listening to us here, if you listen to us talk about this season, and maybe this is just us, probably seems like a pretty good season.
Okay, sure.
I don't know. I think we made this interesting.
Look, you and I, we are hardcore Survivor fans. Even though I have said this is the least favorite one that we have covered, I still enjoyed it because it's Survivor and I love Survivor. Yeah. I'm not going to say it was bad because it wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as some of the other ones we've seen. But at the end of the day, it's still Survivor. It had some good challenges. It had some good cast. It had some good twists. Kyle and Brian, I think, do a great job. I think this was an enjoyable season.
I think they could have, and this is always Kyle and Brian's issue, and it's obviously their style, and they would have thought of this, I'm sure, and they've decided not to do it, and that's their call. But they like to have long episodes in all their seasons. They like to go run up the hour, and you just don't need it. If it went for 40 minutes, this thing could actually be either be a bit more fast-paced and a bit more interesting. Because the problem is the votes don't end up being interesting because of the pagonging, but there's enough there to make it interesting, but just sometimes with the hour, it can be a bit of a slog.
It drags on. Yeah. Cut it down.
So, but that's their call. That's how they like to make their shows, and that's fine. That's a prerogative.
Good for them.
Okay, so fuck, shoot, marry. For the jury, it can't be anyone on the final three because the question was for the final three to do that.
Okay.
You can pick what you're going to do first. With one person, one of the categories.
I'm gonna fuck Sammy.
Yeah, look. I was thinking it's just a lot harder for me. I think just to be like, I'm gonna fuck this woman because she was the hottest. Like, it just seems very misogynistic. To be judging them.
It's fine, but I do it.
It's fine for you. It's fine for a woman to do it.
For me though, I'm all about, okay, I love a great smile, and she had a great big smile, so that's my justification.
The most attractive woman to me is probably Olivia. But for the fuck, because I don't want to be so misogynistic and say just judge people like this, I'm going to fuck Steven because he was the hottest guy.
Okay, I can respect that.
He's an attractive man.
I am going to kill Ben. I found him annoying, and I like his strategic moves that he made were not good. So he can go.
The kill is really hard as well. I just want to sort of like note out of this as well. Like I just want to say everyone.
I mean, this was your idea for us to play this game. So and then you're just like, I don't want to say anyone.
The Carl and Brian didn't want to do it. I'm going to kill I don't have anyone that
You made me do it. Come on. Just gun to your head. And you got to turn that gun to someone else.
Can I come back to it? Let's
you can come back to that. All right, but you have to say who you're going to marry first then.
I'm marrying Andrew. It'll be a short marriage, but I think it'll be an incredible time. Maybe we make it 12 months. Maybe not. I don't know. But fuck. It'll be an enjoyable 12 months of a lot of bickering, arguing, egos trying to overpower the other, thinking the other one thinking I know better than him thinking he knows better than me. Fights. And then, like, assuming I was actually into guys, like incredible makeup sex and whatever. And then him fighting in his way. It'd just be entertaining as fuck. So yeah, I'm marrying Andrew. In no straight, it'll be fun.
All right. I think I'm gonna marry Maddie.
Maddie. She's your type? Yeah. Longer term?
That is absolutely my type. But also I don't know, I feel like we'd get along.
Look, gun to my head. I'm probably shooting Rafe.
Okay.
Like, he just didn't do anything for me.
Nothing burger. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Raph, when you watch this.
Sorry, Raph. Yeah.
You know what? Ben, I'm sure probably takes it as a compliment that I want to shoot him because he strikes me as the type of person, and I'm the same. I would rather be hated than not remembered. So, and I'm guessing Ben's in that category too. So he would rather be picked as someone to be shot than not picked at all. Yeah.
Anyway, it was difficult. I can see why that was difficult. I can see why Carl and Brian cut it. Your answers were just straight in, whereas I was being very
I don't think about it. I'm just like, boo, let's go.
I was very I was in the final tribal council, I don't really want to say anything that offend anybody. But you know what? If you got to the end, what if poor Rafe listens to 2 hours and 43 minutes of this thing? It's like, that guy killed me. You got my name wrong for 2 hours and 44 minutes and then shot me.
And you know that now that we've said it, anyone who does get to the end of this is going to be like, Raph, listen to this podcast. You'll love it. Get all the way to the end.
Well, look, we encourage that. And look, you know, Rafe, if you do ever listen to this, feel free to hit me up and get mad at me about my decisions. But, you know, I'm just trying to be, you know, I couldn't really shoot a woman, so I sort of had to go where I had to go. All right. Well, I think it's our longest podcast to date, which is interesting considering it wasn't our favorite season. But I want to thank you for coming on and, as always, contributing, binging the show, and then being part of this. I think, you know, people don't just want to hear my voice, despite what I think. And it's good to have that difference of opinion. So thank you, as always, Jules. For those still watching next week, hopefully, I've got to lock down the time still. I'll have the catch-up with Hal, then the tea party week after, and then the catch-up with Kyle and Brian. We'll ask all the questions that we had for them sporadically throughout this episode. Also hand out the awards. You know, will Andrew win the ORCA?
Yes.
Maybe it'll be Jeff.
Yeah.
And as I said at the start of the programming, we're now into the top 7. We're going to be ranking them, and the one that came 7th was Melbourne Survivor 2 Warrandyte, which is a good season. First season I ever watched. It is a bit of a drag.
First season I ever watched.
Controversial winner as well. I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. I don't know if he's going to want to come on, but that's for the future. We'll deal with that in the future. That's future Chris and Jules' problem. For now, we will just celebrate this. You know, well done everyone on this season. It's insane that they did this 2 weeks after season 2. It's insane they lost their venue. That they got crew to come out and do it like that many times in a row. I think a lot of the crew were the people that paid too, because they're just in that like hyped up mood. I think it's the same year they did 1 as well. I think they made 3 seasons in 1 year.
Well done.
And they cooled it down a bit. But yeah, incredible effort from them. Incredible effort from the cast to play this game, play that late. You know, it's great to see. And you know, it's you know, we got to see Andrew, the birthing of a legend, and we will see Kiara again with David and the person that is booted first from Yards Apart, which I won't spoil for you because you haven't watched it, in season 4, which is very exciting with that comeback twist. So look forward to talking about Backyard again in the future when we cover those next 2 seasons, whenever they may be in the countdown. So until next week, thank you for sticking with us. If you're there, if you're still here at the end, congratulations, you get some sort of love heart.
Get a brownie points.
Yeah, we're doing love heart symbols with our hands, because if you are this deep, I'm sure it's on the podcast and not on the video. Thank you.
All right.